Welcome to Week in Horror.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
The only podcast that will feed your horror need.
The need to feed.
With JL.
Yeah, I'm a fucking masochist. I'll watch that shit.
Eugene.
Somebody has to be the sex symbol, I'm sorry.
Alex.
Shit, I just demonetize this forever.
And Johnny O.
How do you like that shit? Got halfway through the monologue before unmuting myself. Golly, it's one of them fucking days.
With industry guests.
Hi, this is Richard Oakes, Director of Host.
Hey, this is Adam Leader, Director of Host.
This is Matthew Mark Hunter.
I'm Donna Nelly.
And you're listening to Week in Horror.
And you're listening to Week in Horror.
And this is Week in Horror.
And you're listening to Week in Horror.
Welcome to prime time, bitch!
News, trivia, and more.
One by one, we will take you.
Join our live show Wednesdays at 7 Central, youtube.com/weekinhorror, and wherever you listen to podcasts. Week in Horror. Stay scared.
That's right. It's Week in Horror. Welcome back, horror fans. It is Wednesday, a little bit past 7 p.m. Central Time. That means it's time for another episode of the Week in Horror podcast, the only podcast that's in the pipe 5x5. And this is the season 2 finale. The finale of season 2.
Season fucking 2.
Season 2 finale.
Can you believe that shit? Season 2 finale. We have so many things in store for the show tonight. It's going to be amazing. Thank you all so much for joining us. And for all of our podcast listeners who are out there, you've got to get here and check out our live show here on YouTube. So you too, you can interact directly with us, with the show, and win some trivia prizes, of which we have a whole bunch to give away today. It's going to be a lot of fun. This week, we are covering select films released in horror history, September 19th through September 25th. Thank you all so much for being here. I am JL, and with me tonight are Eugene, Alex, and on his way, Johnny O.
What's up, everybody?
What the fuck is happening?
So, unfortunately, Johnny O is caught in traffic, and we had to get the show kicked off. But this is fine.
Traffic, looking for my chapstick.
So we're just going to go through we'll see who's in the live stream tonight, see who's in the live chat. We're going to say hi to everybody, and we have some things we want to talk about before we dive into the movies. But this is a big celebration. We have completed 2 years of Week in Horror. Well, about to. As soon as we complete this episode, it'll be 2 years completed. But 2 fucking years of Week in Horror.
Here.
2 years, that's the live. When we get done with this one, it is 104 episodes, plus 2 if you count the 2 that nobody's ever going to hear, the 2 original episodes. But 104 episodes of Week in Horror, 22 bloodbaths, 22 After Dark specials, the digital darkness that we have in there, and all of the cool access, behind the scenes stuff that is accessible to our patrons for the movies. We made a short film that's going to be made into a feature film next year. All of this because of you. This is what 2 years can do you. If you persevere, you work fucking hard, and you love what you fucking do, this is what you can do. So let us be the example. Push forward. And I couldn't have done it with you. I couldn't have done it with you guys without you guys. I
couldn't have done it with you guys. You just fucked this whole thing up.
I couldn't have done it without you. I'll get a little misty. And so, but I couldn't have done it without you guys at all. Alex, Eugene, for taking the time, and coming every single week and giving everything you've got. Alex with the schedule with the new kid. I know it's insane, and
it's fucking nuts.
And then Johnny O coming in and helping us out, and just you guys have been fucking amazing. So 2 fucking years. 2 years we've been doing this.
Isn't that insane?
2 years.
And look where it got me. I'm now in a fucking garage. It's 100 fucking degrees out here. And I still come to talk with you assholes because it's the highlight of my fucking week.
Fucking crazy. It is so wild. All right, let's take a look and see who is in the live chat tonight. Charlie Welch says, boop. Charlie Welch is first. Charlie Welch, one of our amazing patrons. As a matter of fact, let me kick that banner off so you can see who all of our amazing patrons are. Charlie Welch.
Booped by Charlie Welch?
We got booped by Charlie. Booped in the snoot. Thank you, Charlie Welch. The only man on the internet you never make a bet with. Boomer is in the house. Good to see you, Boomer. I think this is Boomer's first time. So good to see you, Boomer. Thank you for joining us. Mm-hmm. And definitely, and as I mentioned before, get your Google Foo warmed up. Stretch those Google fingers because you're going to need them because we have multiple prizes tonight. We're doing a trivia prize for every movie we're talking about. and I will show you pictures of these items because these are things that I have set, and then we're going to ship them out to you. It's the minute you win them after the show, but we have pictures to show you guys, so it's going to be amazing. And the George said, pop by said, working tonight, going to watch when I can. Good to go. Thank you. And the George said, Charlie Welch says, excellent in the Burns voice. Ivy Gentry's in the house. Good to see you. Ivy says, got my t-shirt and is wearing it. Fantastic.
Nice.
That's what we love. That's fucking awesome right there. Ivy has won so many of our trivia prizes. So many of the weekly trivia prizes. We've given so much away. Ivy will be right back. Chris Durham, Music Channel's in the house this week in horror. My guess for tonight's trivia question is Shirley Temple, because horror. Well, we shall definitely see if that is the answer to one of the trivia questions tonight. Good to see you, Chris Durham. Commander Darklight's in the house, another one of our amazing patrons. Good to see you all the way from Australia. Mr. Malord is in the house. I did check that. We will be mentioning what you sent me on Messenger. Thank you, Mr. Malort, another one of our amazing patrons. Jinju is in the house. Good to see you. Let's see who else we got. Sarcasm, another of our amazing patrons, is in the house. Good to see everybody. Fantastic. Sarcasm says the trivia answer for Red State is Alanis Morissette. Interesting. I'm curious. Maybe. You never know. I guess we'll have to find out.
Mm-hmm.
And Man Devil is in the
ironic.
Don't you think? Man Devil is in the house of Sarcasm. Are you sure that's not the answer for Dogma? Also a possibility. Good to see you, Man Devil. And Skits Crasher's in the house. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. NANA, another one of our amazing patrons. Good to see you. A bunch of people in chat. Oh, Johnny O fired. Not yet. Maybe. But not just yet. I'll give him the opportunity. Elizabeth Sylvester's in the house. Good to see you, Elizabeth. Another one of our awesome patrons. You can see down there in the banner below. Thank you, Elizabeth. Good to see you. And let's see. I think that looks like it. Sarcasm says, half my wardrobe is now week in horror. That is amazing.
Awesome. Same here.
I just popped open the shirts. So I got my King Shaming Cannibal shirt as well. And I ordered it for Texas Fried Bear Weekend, but it didn't come in time. I was so pissed. It was supposed to be here on the 9th. It didn't show up to the 10th. And I left town on the 9th so I could make sure I had plenty of time. But yes, there's my King Shaming Cannibal shirts. I'm very
I'm going to need you to throw those back up onto the page.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Just for like a weekend so I can grab one.
This was limited edition shirt number 3. So, and soon. And this is what's really cool. Next week begins season 3. And we will be debuting the new artwork for the season, the season 3 cover artwork, done by Joshua Olsen, our in-house artist. We will also be debuting the limited edition number 4 shirt, which you guys have been requesting for the longest time. So we'll be debuting that, and it will be the first shirt available in multiple colors, which is pretty cool. Not just black.
Look at us being progressive.
Yeah, right, And then, of course, all kinds of cool stuff is coming down the pipe. There's some Kink Shaming Cannibals news coming down the pipe. Feature film stuff coming down. There's all kinds of stuff. So we want to thank a big, huge thank you to all of our patrons for helping us make this happen. We couldn't have done it without you guys. You guys have made this thing a reality. You allowed us to keep going, and you allowed us to accomplish our dream, which was start making content, like beyond the podcast. Start making like legit movies that we can bring you. So that is fucking amazing. Let's see.
I don't think people fucking understand. Like, you hear that all the time, especially listening to podcasts. Like, oh, we wouldn't have been able to do it without you. But like, seriously, just that one number that you add to the count at the bottom of people that are actually fucking paying attention is what drives this thing forward. Because if that, view number was 0, fuck, dude, we wouldn't be able to put in the amount of fucking time and work that we do into this podcast because it would just be for nothing. But watching, being able to come here every week and see the same names in the chat and have some conversations with people who actually share the same interest in shit is like, that's what keeps this thing going. So seriously, thank you guys for coming out here every single week. It's the same people here, hopefully we can grow the community, as we go forward. But as of like right now, you guys were here on the ground floor. So when we take off in fucking 5 years and we've got a big whole thing set up, just you can be there. You can be like, listen, I was one of the OG people. I was here. I listened to them first. We were there at the beginning because you guys are it. You guys are the ones that were here very first. So we'll always remember those names in the chat. I promise.
Very cool. Definitely. Oh, This is interesting stuff. We got and that's right, Charlie Welch is with Charlie Welch. Okay, so I wanted to be kind of a surprise, but yes, we have a group of individuals. Charlie Welch is one of them who are working on music for the Kink Shaming Cannibals. So
I didn't even know about this.
I wanted to
up with the fucking name. I haven't heard anything.
I wanted to keep it a surprise, but it's actually happening. We have a band that is formed to do the music for the Kink Shaming Cannibals.
What are you talking? I want to play in the band.
And Charlie says, I've written 1 Kink Shaming Cannibal song so far. 3 more are in the works. So it's actually happening. That's actually happening. The band has become a thing. And don't forget, they're going to make a cameo in the feature.
Yes.
So they're going to be there.
You're pulling a Euro trip.
No, it's okay, Charlie Welch. Don't even worry about it. It's all good. He was like, "Oops." He's like, "Nah, that's all good."
No,
you're one of the guys working on it, so you can say whatever you want. Here we go. Let's see. Chris Durham says, "Gotta go. YouTube just notified me the Week in Horror is live. See you later." Oh yeah. Never mind. Here we go. Glober Mom is in the house. Good to see you, Glober Mom. Says,
What's
hello,
up,
everyone.
Mom?
Been lurking. You can lurk all day. I don't mind if it's you in the bushes. All right. Sarcasm says, I totally agree with you, Alex. It's the highlight of my week, and even my girlfriend knows not to call on a Wednesday.
That's priorities right there.
She's like, fuck, man.
Priorities.
She's like, I think I'd rather him be cheating on me. No.
I bet he's cheating on me. God damn it. Week in Horror didn't start at 7 o'clock.
Why did it take you longer than usual?
All right. So a few things while we're waiting for Johnny O to come in, but I wanted to go over a few things before we dive into our moves tonight. So we had a big weekend just this past weekend at Texas Frightmare Weekend. All 4 of us went out there. I came down. I came back to Texas so I could go. I was there for Friday and Saturday. I think we were. I think I was there Friday, Saturday. So was Johnny, Alex, and Eugene. You were both there Saturday, right?
Yeah,
correct.
Right. So we went down there, and the reason we were down there is because, Lloyd Cryer, founder of Texas Frightmare Weekend, he came on the show, and that led to the inspiration to doing a remake of Nail Gun Massacre, which led to the short film that we did, the award-winning short film that we shot, that Eugene directed, that I wrote and Eugene directed. And so now, what was it going? Oh, yeah. So we were out at Texas Frightmare Weekend, and that short was screening at TFW. So we went out there to support it and check it out. I can tell you right now, Johnny and I stayed for it. We were able to stay. Unfortunately, Alex had prior engagement and Eugene had an emergency to go take care of. But I can tell you, the audience reaction to Nail Gun was fucking amazing.
Not the dick.
It was great. It was fantastic hearing people like, no, don't shoot him in the dick. Don't do it. And but then other people were like, shoot him in the dick.
Shoot him in the dick.
And I wish you both had been there to hear just when the credits rolled, when it was like, I prefer it if you stick around. And like this, people were like, yeah. People like fucking just went wild. It was fantastic. It was the first when the killer first stomps the dude's head to death. And just blam, people were like, fucking A. And they were screaming about that. They loved it so much.
Give him the old dick twist.
So that was a lot of fun. But of course, I was there. I got a whole bunch of new autographs.
Fucking Jinju. Hold on.
What was that?
No, I mean, you keep going. I said
Jinju says it was really for Tony Todd. I was there for Tony Todd. Unfortunately, there's Alex and Tony Todd. Yeah. I unfortunately did not get to hang out with to see Tony Todd because I was in Danny Trejo's line.
Bro, and so can I just tell a quick story? Because like the whole thing was
go
like,
for it.
So Tony Todd line was like, I got there, me and Johnny got there at the same time. We went in, JL was on his way, and Eugene was dealing with some other stuff before he came. And so we get there, and we get in the line, and we find out that it was like just after 1 o'clock. We find out that he's not really going to be around until like 4. And so we're like, well, fucking dig in. And so we hung out. Johnny stuck it out the entire time. We got up almost to him. We were like 5 people, 5th person in line. And he's like, all right, I got to dip for a little bit. And then Eugene showed up, or vice versa, whatever. Eugene showed up, whatever. Tony Todd had to go for a little bit. And so we were going to be there for a while. So I went with Eugene, and we walked around for a little bit. And I was like, okay, let's go find JL. And so we go, and we were like, dig through the crowd. We find the door, and we look in this sea of people. JL's just standing. He's like, yeah, because they had to like go do photo ops and shit. So they had to bounce for a little while and come back. And so we stuck out for like 3.5 hours to see our respective celebrities. But Eugene, were you there when Corey Taylor walked by? Or was that me and Johnny?
No, I wish I was there. No.
Okay, so I'm like standing there and like I can't remember. I was going to find jail or some shit. I think we were done and it was me and it was me and Johnny because he said he was going to throw a water balloon at Corey Taylor. And so we were standing
That's funny.
outside the door. We're looking at the doors. There's one door where all the people are standing and they're taking people from one door into another, a group of 10 to go see Danny Trejo. And I look in the door and Danny Trejo's standing in there and some guy comes around and he's like, get Corey in here because they got to like do their photo op or whatever. And so all of a sudden Corey Taylor just comes popping like a booth right next to me, just pops out from this booth and walks by and he walks right in front of me. Yeah.
I snapped a picture of Corey.
I'm fucking standing there and Corey Taylor just brushes up against it. I'm like, that was fucking Corey Taylor, bro. And he goes inside and he like, daps up fucking Danny Trejo. I'm like, I'm in the right place. Like, this is definitely what I need to do. I got Machete and fucking Corey Taylor. Like, yeah, we're in the right spot. That was great. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
the atmosphere was just fantastic.
Oh yeah.
I had time while you guys were waiting in the line. I was like, well, I can wait here. But then I was like, you see, and here's another little story to go along with that one. So there was only one person there because I've been around celebrities before. I used to do press, for a website, and I used to interview celebrities all the time. Interviewed Carrie Elwes, interviewed Costas Mandylor, Norman Reedus, John Patrick Flannery. People who were involved in horror films. I used to go out to TFW and do press. There's only one person I've encountered that's ever like intimidated me, where I've been like, oh, I'm kind of like that, and that was Tracy Lords. Okay, Tracy Lords is intimidating to me. Why? Because
Why?
I'll admit I have a very strong attraction to Tracy Lords. She's a very beautiful woman. I find her deeply attractive.
You guys should have seen how hard Johnny had to push JL to go get
I was deeply concerned that I would go up and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna get your autograph," and like this. I'm gonna be like, she's gonna be like, "Oh, so who can I make this out to?" And she'll look at me, and I'll be like, and she's gonna look at me, and she's gonna look at me and be like, "This motherfucker's thinking of me doing the deal." I was like, "No, I don't want her to see that in my face. I don't want her to see that. Just like, oh, it's one of these guys. I wanted to be cool. I wanted to be like, yo, okay, hey, what's up? Like this, get your autograph." Well, Johnny was giving me shit about it, and he told me that he would not let me live it down if I didn't go get Tracy Lords' autograph and a picture with her, which I went and did. I sucked it up, Buttercup, went and got her autograph on a picture that's currently hanging on the wall. You can't see it right now, but it's over here underneath Danny Trejo. And I was kind of like...
And it says right on it, JL, stop thinking about me with your cock in my mouth.
Pretty much. Yeah. It's really actually, she wrote bite me, which is funny.
Yeah,
So I was kind of like, I just sucked it up and I went and I got it. And I was like, thank you so much. I've been a fan. I could have said, I've been a fan for a long time. I could have said that, but I didn't say that. So I was like, I'm a really big fan. Loved you in Blade. Loved you in Crybaby. Not of This Earth. Just a bunch of cool stuff. She's like, oh, thank you so much. I was like, so glad you're able to make it out. And, with all the craziness. She's like, oh, yeah, because there were a bunch of people that had to postpone or cancel just, because it's insane out there.
Yeah.
So, it was awesome. And she was super, super sweet. And so now I have her picture, I have her autograph, and done. Now Johnny can't give me shit about this. I was worried. I was concerned. I could walk up Danny Trejo and be like, what's up, Danny Trejo? Because I've got like 7 inches on Danny Trejo. Okay? I've got like 7 inches. I've got like 7 inches.
Totally different joke.
I've got like 7 inches on Danny Trejo, and I got him like 100 pounds. But I was like, Danny Trejo, he's a little guy. He's not that big. It's like, hey, Danny Trejo, there you go. I'm not worried about Danny Trejo. I'm not worried about any of these cats. I'm not worried about Tony Todd. Hey, Tony Todd, what's going on?
Dude, I'm 6'3" and I had to look up to Tony Todd.
Right.
That was intimidating.
Okay, I got pictures of Tony Todd when he was at the bar getting a drink.
Nice.
I was like, hey, Tony Todd.
Click.
So, but it was like Tracy Lords. Tracy Lords.
Yeah.
She's hottie.
Oh shit, Ivy Gentry. I'm sorry. Went to Des Moines, Iowa. Went to high school in Des Moines. No, I'm just kidding. I used to live right over the border in Prior Lake, Minnesota. It wasn't actually too far. I think it was like 4 hours from Des Moines. I used to travel down there pretty often. Cedar Rapids is actually pretty cool.
Look who's here.
I see you guys decided to start without me.
Hey.
Yeah, we had to.
I'm sorry. Mind. Some of us actually have to punch a clock,
I worked 8 to 5 today. Shut up.
Yeah.
I worked from 8 to 5 today. Some of us actually have to punch a clock for a living.
We were just talking about just TFW memories. Just,
how much of a vagina you were because you wouldn't go talk to Tracy Lords until
I told you
until I made you talk to Tracy.
Literally, we're just talking about it.
I know. I heard you. I've been in the back here for like 10 minutes.
No, you haven't.
Yeah, something like that.
I've been watching it. You've not been back.
I've been back here for the Tracy. You didn't want me in on the Tracy Lord story because you didn't want me to tell everybody what really happened.
Then I said exactly what happened.
No, you gave the JL version. Eugene and Alex both know what I'm talking about when I say the JL version of a story.
Oh well, then definitely refresh us.
Oh no! Look at JL. Look at him. I don't want to ruin his Tracy Lord story.
Oh, you're so full of shit. Anyway, so
no, I'm not actually. I'm not full of shit. It was hilarious. You were so scared. You were like a little puppy dog that peed his little area every time Tracy Lords would even like glance in your direction.
Listen, JL doesn't usually get intimidated or camera shy or anything, but you were definitely like when I was there, and Johnny was like, "Fucking go," and you were like, "Okay, all right."
Okay, all right.
And then he wandered around for a little bit before he actually went to the booth.
But I went over there. I got her autograph. I got it taken care of. Then I came back. It's all done. Put the
his hands are shaking as he's putting the picture into his folder.
And I was like, you know what? You're here. Maybe I can go get Danny Trejo before, because Tony Todd's line was so long. So maybe I can go get Danny Trejo's and come back for Tony Todd. And
so the fucked up thing about that is we got through Tony Todd's line before you got through Trejo's line.
Yeah.
And Tony Todd got up and left twice.
Well, Danny got up and left a few times as well.
Yeah.
He had photo ops. He went for lunch one time, so we had to wait as well. The messy thing was that if I'd had somebody who could hold the place in line, I could have jumped over Todd's with you, and then gotten his deal, and then come back and gotten Danny's. But I didn't have somebody to wait for me because there were only 3 of us. Only 3 of us showed up.
What?
No, there were 4 of us there. There were 4 of us there,
but only one person, was hanging out in the line because I'm making a joke. God damn it!
He's trying to distract. He's trying to deflect from the fact that he would not entertain the idea of Tracy Lords.
Oh shit! Glover Mom's taking us to the grocery store. We gotta go.
I'm taking you all to the grocery store with me now. Be cool and behave. Haha. Awesome.
Oh, grab some snack packs. I love those things.
Give me my snack pack.
Yeah.
I have no snack
some
pack.
Takis and some Dunkaroos, bitch.
Oh, so it was an amazing weekend. We had a lot of fun. The screening was fantastic. Reaction to it was great.
I blew Tom Savini's mind.
You
You probably should have just said not the mind part.
I'm going to edit that. I blew Tom Savini.
Frightmare was great,
but it was amazing because Tom Savini is the absolute chillest dude you'd ever meet. He's totally laid back. Just like it doesn't really react to stuff. I was kind of like, "Hey, Tom, how's it going? So glad you're able to make it. I'm glad you're feeling better because Tom Savini was in a car accident. He was actually struck by a car. So,
I think he was high.
He put it may
when
he might
isn't
have
he?
been, but he put pictures of himself up in the hospital on Twitter, and I was kind of like, damn, because he got messed up. So he's all like, cool, and he's like, I'm so glad you're feeling better, and he was like, yeah, considering. And I was like, okay, I'll just go and take the autograph that I paid for, and you have yourself a good day.
I will go and fuck myself. Thank you, Tom.
Well, so he was just all totally cool and everything, and I had him take it. I had the picture I had him signed was the one of him, his sex machine from Dusk Till Dawn. So he's like laid back. He's got the beard. He's got like the fucking the gun cock.
The cock gun.
The cock gun. And Johnny. He was behind me because Johnny was in line with me, and you said to him,
"Oh yeah, that was my favorite scene in the film. That scene with Sex Machine and Greg Nicotero. I said it was awesome. It's like here Greg Nicotero is a new kid in town. We're talking about visual effects and makeup and whatnot, and Tom Savini's letting him know literally that he's still the big dick in town. And Tom Savini goes, "Huh? I didn't think about it that way." I wonder if Greg thinks about it that way.
So the man sat back and thought of it. He kind of kicked back. He was kind of like, huh.
Yeah.
Never thought of it that way. And that was what was awesome, because we later met somebody who said he always tries to bring things for Tom Savini to sign. Apparently, he's a huge collector. He always tries to bring stuff for Savini to sign that will just like blow his mind. So like, man, I found this, sign this. Like I found the original, bag from Friday the 13th. It's like you sign it. And Tom Savini's always just chill as hell. It's like, cool.
He had like a Betamax copy of.
He had a mint condition Betamax Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
The original film.
Wow.
And he had Tom Savini sign it. And Tom Savini was like, there you go, bud. Thanks. Just like no reaction. Like one of the rare items out there. He's like, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I've seen it all.
Speaking of reactions, did you tell him the CJ Hughes story?
Oh, CJ.
Oh, of course not.
Of course he didn't. Of course he didn't.
Well, I mean, you mean CJ Graham?
That's what I meant. CJ Graham. Sorry.
Right. Okay.
Oh, well, yeah. Look at that face. JL thinks there's no story to tell. That right there tells you there's a story to tell.
Online. We hung out online. I got the mask. I got the Friday mask, which is hanging in, up
it's up there.
Yeah, so it's out of range. Actually, if I move up the camera a little bit,
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, it's a little dark.
It's a little dark.
Yeah, it's a
It's
little
above
dark,
the door. Hey,
above the door.
What is that? You hung clothes back there. What are you doing? That's where Jason goes.
That is where Jason is going to go. Angela is currently setting up her office next door to me.
Oh,
and
okay.
She needed to make some room because that stuff goes in that closet. So it's temporary storage.
Oh, so you should just put a head back there and then, it'll work for now.
Well, Jason will go. Jason, and this is the cool thing. Jason has been ordered, and Jason is being made currently.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I shit you not.
You could have made that for like $60.
6 weeks. It is 6 weeks. 6 weeks to construct. It is on the way. Steel frame, polyurethane resin, and everything is custom designed on it. And if you want to see, because this is the idea. So anybody in the live chat looking, see that closet right back there. Jason is going to be standing in that closet, and the lighting is on the way. The interior of it is going to be lit like it's underwater.
Yeah,
so Jason will be in there. Yeah. So, and I will share this because I shared this earlier with Alex. I will share the screen. Alex. And this is the Jason that will be going in that spot.
That's
badass.
So I am extremely happy with that.
That is a life size, 6'3"?
He's 6'3".
Yeah. Steel frame, resin, silicone, fucking polyurethane, motherfucker.
Yes, I'm very pleased. You can zoom in, all of that everything custom done exactly to specification. So I am extremely pleased with that. And that is
so here we are in CJ's line.
So that is going over there in the spot. So that's going like legit in the studio. So that's going to be badass there.
That would be really cool.
Back to CJ
really
Graham.
Cool.
CJ Graham played Jason in Friday the 13th Part 6.
Part 6.
So Part 6. The one that's going in the closet, that's Part 7. That's Kane Hodder.
That's Kane Hodder, yeah.
And so CJ Graham is doing that. CJ Graham is a beast, like the dude's just huge.
He's still doing steroids, which is, at our age.
You're going to get us fucking sued.
Well, no, look, I guarantee he can't. He can't sue us because then he'd have to submit to blood testing.
Anyway,
now he's not coming on the show.
I am not making any claims about CJ Graham, but
he's jacked. Okay,
the dude is still a beast.
Jacked,
okay, so
right.
nonetheless,
he's in his 60s and he's jacked.
Anyway, he had masks to sign. He had masks that were modeled after the Friday 6 mask. I had him sign one of those. It's currently up on the wall. Anyway, so we were in line. No, hang on. So I'm trying to remember. We were in line.
Yep.
We went forward, and we were just chatting. He asked me about Weekend Horror because I was wearing the Weekend Horror shirt.
Okay, so I'm going to stop you right there. He didn't ask you about Weekend Horror. All right, he sees us walk up. He looks at your shirt.
Yeah.
And then he gets this look on his face where he's trying to, like, the wheels are like trying to line up, and he's thinking about it. He goes, Weekend Horror, and JL fucking like rapid machine gun fires the entire life story of Weekend Horror, the entire 2-year story of Weekend Horror.
I gave him the elevator pitch.
Shit, the elevator pitch. If the elevator went from floors 1 to 100 at fucking 1950s pace, maybe.
You realize why I don't believe shit that comes out of this man's mouth anymore. Right?
Look. Eugene and Alex both know that in this type of situation, the person to believe is not you. What I'm saying is, so
Johnny just throws us right in the fucking middle of it.
I am putting the kids between the parents right now. Okay, so CJ looks at you, and like I said, you give this rapid fire about the 2-year history, and it's it's an abbreviated 2-year history, but it's still the rapid fire 2-year history, right?
Dude. I want to make it quick. I don't want to sit there and get
right. No, I'm throwing you a bone. He goes,
you log line it.
No, I didn't want to lie. I'm not going to sit here and filibuster in front of CJ Graham. Well, it was a dark and stormy night. So I gave a ring to my good friend Eugene, who I met previously upon a project that we worked on. As a side story, I met Eugene on another. It wasn't like
and
that.
I was like, tally ho! Good
actually, it kind of was. It kind of was like that.
This whole story has now taken longer than the entire interaction with CJ.
Well, yes, it's true. So anyway, CJ's like, CJ stops JL. He's like, no, I'm trying to remember whether or not I've done this show. And I look at JL, and I'm thinking to myself, this is your opportunity. And he just freezes.
That I did. Oh no!
Yes, you did.
No, it's not because
deer
you
said headlights.
No. Hang on.
Deer, like a whole herd of deer.
I froze because I was not planning on approaching CJ in that manner about being on Weekend Horror.
The manner does not matter.
Thank you, Eugene.
Sometime opportunity knocks.
I'm looking at JL, and I look at CJ, and I look back at JL. I said, "So CJ, would you like if you ever would like, we would love to have you on the show." And JL looks at me like, "What the fuck are you doing?
No, and the reason for that, I have nothing to give him. I have no business cards on hand.
Doesn't matter.
I have no merchandise that I can show him. I have nothing at all. I just have the shirt on my back.
Yep. So
here's the thing: you got the shirt on your back, so he sees Weekend Horror in a fucking email that's like, "Hey, we'd love to have you on the show." He's gonna be like, "Fuck, that's the guy from the convention." Maybe I should look at this email.
I didn't have his email, and it'd be inappropriate for me to approach him at a convention and be like, "Hey, can I get your email?"
Well, you didn't have to. You put the seed into his mind.
The best thing is like, by the way, I run a horror podcast. This is the shirt for it. Here's our card. If you're ever interested in being on the show, give us a holler.
Here, I'm about to get blamed for not picking up the
business card. That's it.
You are.
That would have been that simple, and I would have been happy about that. But no, he pushed the deal. How much great would it have been if I had just been up and been like, "Hey, look, Weekend Horror Show. Have I been on the show? No, not yet." So we haven't. It was like, or if I talked about it a little bit, and then you come back the next day on Saturday with the cards and been like, "Oh, hey, CJ, remember we talked about this? Here's our card in case you're interested, want to check it out if you'd like to be on the show sometime." You're like, "Fantastic," and then just bugged out.
Right,
but that didn't happen.
No, because I flat out said, "Hey, CJ, we would love to have you on the show." JL looks at me like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I look at him back like, "I'm asking Jason Voorhees to be on our fucking horror film podcast."
Yes,
that's what the fuck I'm doing.
No. What comes
and
next?
then
Like,
CJ says,
"This sounds like a green room conversation." You guys are
no, because we'd love to have you on the show. Great. Do you have a card? No, I don't. That looks unprofessional. Thank you, Commander Darklight. JL wanted to look professional. If I say, "Hey, I'd like to have you on the show," sure. Do you have any material? Do you have like a business card? Do you have something? It's like, no. I've now set myself up. I look unprofessional.
No. What you do is you always play it off. You don't just go, no. You go, "Oh, I just gave out my last business card."
There you are.
Exactly.
There you are.
But we do have a website.
But before the professional one could say that, somebody came in and said, "I don't have a name." God damn.
But I didn't say that. That's why I didn't say anything, because I wasn't prepared. I was in the middle of this. Then you hit this, and I was like, "Whoa, shit." Okay, so I was going in one direction, and you just jumped in there and was like, "Hey, you want?" It was like,
"Wait a second."
You gotta adapt and overcome. You adapt and overcome.
Nonetheless, I was trying to be professional. Johnny put me in his spot.
He brought it. No. CJ brought it up when he said, "I can't remember whether or not I've been on this show."
Yeah, that's
he showed interest.
Yeah, that isn't, because the thing is this: if he wasn't interested, he would have been like, "Cool," and walk off.
Well, he couldn't have walked out. We were at his booth.
Well, but he would have been like, "Oh yeah."
But the thing is, he would have been no. But hang on, he would have been like, oh, "Okay, cool," and then like, "That's it, the end."
Yep.
But if he's like, "Man, I don't remember," from he's starting to kind of recall a little bit. That is a sign of interest.
If he'd been like, "Okay, cool," he's like, "Nah," he'd been like, "Fine," I'm like, "Great, autograph, move on." Come back Saturday. Hey, CJ, just want to let you know, Week in Horror shirt. You asked about it. Here's our card. If you'd like, we would love to have you on the show sometime.
There's nothing wrong with giving him a card the next day, but at that moment, you already had his attention. Sometimes things aren't perfect, but an opportunity is an opportunity.
Right.
That you just gotta like just roll with it. Just be like, well, hey, I just gave out my last business card. But we have a website, Week in Horror, weekinhorror.net. If you just want to pull it up real quick, we would love to have you on.
Oh,
Done.
and I have his email, by the way. So boom.
Done.
Fantastic. That's great. So nonetheless, God, this thing blew up way out of fucking proportion.
Nonetheless, JL got mad at me because I wanted to put Jason Voorhees on our horror show podcast. Look at that face.
No.
Look at that face.
You gotta ask. The worst I can say is no.
This is true. I just wasn't planning on asking then.
Had he not shown interest, I wouldn't have asked anything, right? But he had like a genuine interest. I mean, legitimately though, all bullshit aside, he showed a legitimate interest in the podcast. He was curious about it. You know, like when you started telling Tom Atkins, he didn't hear the first few minutes of what few seconds of what you had to say, because you were, like, "Oh, Tom Atkins, it's so great to meet you. We run this podcast." He's like, how do you spell your name? And like, "Oh, Jay." And then after he signed it and looked up and then he engaged and was he was cool with having that just brief little conversation, and that's actually another funny story.
But I was also telling you, it was like, it was amazing because it was like we got, and I was leading into, we got the opportunity to share your movie.
No. I'm not saying you did. No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm comparing the two interactions. Like Tom Atkins was cool, especially after the fact. After he kind of looked up at you. CJ was he was interested when we were walking up because he saw the Week in Horror podcast on your T-shirt. He was already interested in what we were there for. You know what I mean? So he showed a genuine interest versus like the other people that are like, "Oh yeah, cool." Like Tom Savini I don't even think Tom Savini was interested in anything.
No,
like ever. I don't think he's ever been interested in the thing. but like I said, the only reason why I put to CJ is like, because he was like, "I can't remember if I've done that show or not." I'm like, "Well, how about you come do the show?"
Well, Chris Durham is right. Nobody wants business cards anymore. They all have cell phones. And I actually did create a QR code that people could have scanned and checked out. But I was right there, and guys, he's trying to do business. He's trying to sign autographs. There was a line. I didn't want to hold it up. So it's kind of like, I'm always kind of like trying to be in and out. Just trying, like show up, say hi, share a little anecdote about why you love them, and then get their autograph and then move the fuck on. So
in a situation like that, I would take the extra 2 minutes. That line can wait.
Yeah, they can.
This is an opportunity.
Nonetheless, it was a blast. We had a lot of fun, but we have other things that we have to jump onto. So something
that's legitimately his email address, by the way. I just put it in the private chat.
That's funny.
I'm not kidding. That's his legit email address.
Amazing. But we have some other things we have to jump on. So one thing I wanted to jump on, and this was actually shared with me by actually a couple of people, because Mr. Malort, one of our patrons, he shared this with me. So apparently it's this thing. What is the website? I got to make sure I get the website correct. The website is, so basically, if you want to get paid to watch horror films, this is a promotional thing that
I already signed up for this.
Are they running it again?
Yeah, they are running it again. And this is from financebuzz.com is where you'll find the links to get everything. So financebuzz.com/get paid to watch scary movies. The link is in the description of the video. I dropped it in there so you can go check it out. Fill out some information, tell them why you should be the one chosen, and you get paid to basically watch a bunch of horror movies and then write a review, and then basically write.
They'll pay you $1,500. You get like 9 days to watch them or something.
Yeah, and then you like review them, or you like TikTok.
Well, and what they do is they give you like a Fitbit.
Yeah,
and you wear the Fitbit while you're watching them. They're supposed to. No, I'm not kidding. Then they'll watch your heart rate while you're doing it. And then so they're trying to. I'm not kidding. They're trying to get.
I'm just thinking my shit would be like Hannibal Lecter. His heart rate never got above 85.
It's weird. His heart rate stayed at a 7. A solid I think 95.
He's dead.
But it says he took 457 steps a minute.
I have a resting heart rate of 29.
Yes.
Thunk.
Legally, I'm dead.
That's because I do not have blood. I have a viscous black syrup that flows through my veins.
No, but it is pretty cool. They'll pay $1,500, watch these movies, wear the Fitbit, write a little review. What they're looking for is how B movies hold up to A movies, and which ones are scarier. It's actually a pretty cool little concept. They run it every year, so go in there, give them a shout out.
So
you have to be able to dedicate the time. You can't just I'm going to do it, and then no, you actually have to dedicate because they want you to live tweet and all that other shit too. So.
Yeah.
But it's like 13 movies that you have to watch.
If you love horror films as much as we do, and I know Angela signed up for it, she put her name in for it and everything, and I think I'm going to do it too. But if you love horror movies, the link is down there in the description. Follow that link, fill out the stuff, and of course you'll be entered in to see if you can be selected for it. But it's a good way to make $1,500. So we wanted to give that a shout out, and I wanted to get your guys' thoughts. Season 3.
Oh shit! We're going to continue to do it. We're going forward with this.
No, so season 3.
I was going to say, I think The Walking Dead's at season 11. JL.
Yeah. Hey, Travis Brown is in the chat. Says, "Hey, Weekend Horror guys, finally made it to your live stream. Good to see you.
Welcome.
Thank you, Travis."
He says, "I wonder how many sleepless nights to watch horror movies for research." My friend, you have no fucking idea.
No clue. As many as it takes.
As many as it takes.
Yes.
And I just keep watching them. I am. It's like I'm just numb to the world now. It's just a steady stream of just gore and horror all day long.
Did you say gore and horrors?
Gore and Gore.
Depends on how late the nights get.
Gore.
So you did get Tracy Lord's number.
No, he's talking about D. Wallace.
Oh yeah.
There's a gilf. But
she is such a sweetheart.
She's an absolute sweetheart. I mean, come on, think about it, guys. Dee Wallace. She was, when our moms went around, she was the mom. She was the mom that raised us when in the movies. E.T.'s mom. Yeah. E.T.'s mom, Cujo mom, the Howling mom, you name it. Was she a mom in the
Howling?
No, she was a hot wife.
She was just a lady you wanted to invite over.
Pretty much.
I'm sure by the end of that movie, she probably was a mom. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, D. Wallace kicking ass, kicking ass, taking names, and loved her to death. And she was an absolute sweetheart. She and Danny Pintaro met the both of them.
That's another thing that Jay won't tell you about. Jay won't tell you about how D. Wallace was hitting on him.
D. Wallace was not hitting on me. Fucking hell.
God,
I'm trying to move on.
She was so flirting. She was so flirting with you.
D. Wallace complimented my beard. That is all she did.
No, that's not all she did.
Complimented the beard. She said, "You look good with the beard."
She's like, "You got a nice beard," and by beard, I mean you're.
What she said was.
Listen, she didn't have to compliment your beard. That means she wanted to compliment it.
Look, it's not. No, hang on a second. She didn't just say, "Hey, Jail, you have a nice beard." No, what she said was, "Man, I like your beard too. You know, us old ladies like beards like that." And she was touching her face and kind of. Yes, she did. That is exactly what she said. Jail Warren, you were too busy, like in the moment, thinking, "All right, sweet, I'm about to get D. Wallace, and then I'm about to get Danny Pintaro. It's going to be amazing. It's going to go on my wall." She was hitting on you. You couldn't hear her. I heard her. I watched her as she said it. She was touching her face. She was averting her eyes from you. She was hitting on you, Jail Warren. Look at him turn red, and it's true. I swear to God.
I haven't changed the shade at all.
You have. You look at you. You got beat right back there.
Whether she was or not, it doesn't matter, because then I made the joke because my happiness in this is I made the joke. It's like, yeah, my wife says I'm aging like a fine wine. I think it's more like a cheese. And she just I guess caught her the right way because she laughed. She just laughed. She was like, she did old lady laugh, but she did the laugh. She thought it was cute as hell, and I was like, yeah, I made D. Wallace laugh. I'm very pleased with this.
No, you made
Well,
her
usually
giggle.
women laugh when they're attracted to somebody.
Oh, shut the fuck up! What the hell?
Commander Darkhold is correct.
She wanted to get tickled by the future.
I'm serious. She was so hitting on you.
So anyway, but Dee Wallace was an absolute adorable.
She was
so
really
adorable.
sweet. She was very
She was
sweet,
super sweet, and I'm a huge fan of hers. And it was
So was Danny. He was really cool too. Man,
Danny was cool as fuck.
He was like fucking talk your ear off. Like, oh, you want to talk about Cujo? Absolutely. It's a movie I did 40 years ago, and people still want to talk to me about it. Yes. He was,
the fact
he
that
was
he
awesome.
was, but then he was kind of like rattling, he's like boom, 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 like that. Then he looked over at his assistant. He was like, "I've had way too much coffee."
Yeah.
And by coffee, I mean cocaine.
Danny was cool as shit. I got both of them. So it's a picture of them in the car and Cujo at the window, like, oh, and then I got both of their autographs on there right next to each other. It's amazing.
I just wish that one photo they had, the behind the scenes photo with Dee Wallace, the Cujo actor,
and dancing with the fake dog.
Yeah, right. I had just wished I had been with Danny because that would have been the better one to get. I think that would have been much more. Like, here, sign this one. It was cool. But anyway.
So I wanted to get
I
wanted to get everybody's thoughts, just kind of like what you're looking forward to in season 3. Something coming up that these fine individuals here. NA. Minus cocaine.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
And Beaver C says, "Hello, everyone. Apu, I'm late. Not so late.
Not
really, dude. We haven't even made it to the first fucking movie yet.
This is the season 2 finale, so we're taking time." And Travis says, "Glad Frightmare came back and hope to meet you guys at Frightmare one day." Hell yes, we will see you there. Hopefully next year we will have a booth.
Yes.
That's the plan, is we will have an actual booth.
That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for all the fruits of the labor of this show. Not that I don't like hanging out with you guys. I think I want to hang out with you guys a little bit more at like booths at Texas Frightmare Weekend and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Fucking
because that's really cool, getting to meet some people. Did you tell them how well that Nail Gun screened?
Yes, I told them about it. The audience fucking flipped out.
Yeah, out of all the films that JL and I watched all of them. Out of all the films, Nail Gun had the biggest reaction. Still, the funniest thing was not the dick. And I swear to God, it was Yorg who said, "Shoot him in the dick."
I saw Yorg yesterday because I had a meeting with him about an upcoming shoot, and we talked about it. So for those of you who don't know, Yorg was a cinematographer for Nail Gun. And so he's like, "Yeah, that was me."
I knew it.
If I didn't miss it, say Alpha K91. I see in the chat. This is next week roast Darth Dawkins. Oh fuck, wrong side project. That's a reference to something else. But Alpha K91, good to see you.
We can make that happen.
No, well, I'm doing something else.
Not here.
Yeah, well, because earlier there's a reference. Johnny O recently hit 5,000 subs on his personal channel. And so
congratulations.
There was a roast of Johnny O that a bunch of people showed up and just roasted the fuck out of him. I hope mine was okay. I hope mine.
Yes, you did great. You did great, JL.
Well, I'm asking the guy I roasted.
That was good. It was a good one.
It seemed to get a couple.
You're great at roasts. I can only imagine.
What's that supposed to mean?
No, you're good at cook. I was giving you a fucking compliment.
Is that a fat joke?
Yes. Well,
I appreciate it. Thank you. I wanted to surprise him because I was always like, I don't know if I'm going to make it. Yeah,
you're like, surprise, motherfucker!
Surprise, motherfucker! And I just fucking laid it on. The entire time I've known from event to event of knowing Johnny O, I'm going to hit every single one.
Nail them all. That's what you all said.
So what did you guys? So what's something you guys are looking forward to in season 3?
Fuck, like Johnny was saying, fucking everything that has been, we've been working towards is starting to come to light.
Yeah.
We're talking about a feature fucking movie. We're talking about multiple side projects. We're talking about expanding the Week in Horror name. Like you said, dude, there's 2 episodes that nobody's going to hear because we started like fucking garbage, like hot garbage. And, we stuck with it. And now we're here. 2nd fucking season. That's insane. That's 2 years. like of just every week putting some fucking work in. And it's not just Wednesday. We don't just come on here and shoot the shit. You know, we get together once a week for, you know, anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour to discuss how the episode's going to go and, you know, kind of what we're looking at. And sometimes we got to touch base, you know, in between that as well. And it's constant. Even just the one Wednesday night podcast, there's a lot of work that goes into it behind the scenes. And with, you know, Johnny, you got a bunch of kids. I got a bunch of kids. Eugene's got a bunch of shit going on. Jail's living the cushy life right now, but, you know, he's got a lot of shit going on as well.
I do,
so,
yeah.
You know, we got to squeeze this shit in between our personal
ordering
lives.
life-size Jason Voorhees does not qualify as a
lot of his work.
Shit.
A lot of his work goes into Weekend Horror. He puts a lot of work.
Lucky.
He does the daily fucking splatter. Get out of here. You do the daily splatter. You got to sit there and fucking work that shit. You got every single day.
He works one day a week. Stop sucking his finger.
I'm just giving credit where credit's due.
The whole like cushy thing
I'm kidding.
has merely allowed me to fit more shit on my plate because I don't have a 9 to 5 I have to deal with.
True. And, you know, you're putting in a lot of work on that front, and we appreciate that. You know, everybody's got a lot of shit going on.
Writing scripts for everybody.
Oh, templates. No,
Did you say paint by numbers? What?
Essentially, yeah. But being able to, now that we've got like a schedule and a routine going on, being able to move forward from this point is exciting because like we've established a thing here, and now we get to watch what happens from here. Fuck, none of us know. We've never been successful in this previously. You know, this is new. This was new to us. The podcast, I think, was new to us at the beginning. But now that we've got Jail, how many fucking episodes have we done?
After the completion, it will be 104.
104 episodes. Technically 106.
Yeah.
But, so 104 episodes. That is just insane. That's 2 full years, once a week, every week, coming on the
Not to mention like the bloodbaths and the
after darks,
and all that.
Everything. You know, all the other stuff that we do. So it's been a ride, and it's exciting to finally be able to kind of sit comfortably. Like, okay, we've got a routine. Let's fuck it up with some new shit and see where that goes.
Awesome. And Eugene, what about you? You looking forward to anything big in season 3?
I mean, we just keep going and pushing forward. It's not really any one thing in particular that I'm looking forward to. It's just to keep doing what we love doing.
Fucking A. And what about you, Johnny?
I already said.
Johnny said, fuck you guys.
Yeah, Johnny said his first.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he interrupted Alex to do.
Nope.
Well, I can tell you one thing I'm looking for.
But I can interrupt you, and we can talk about how. I'm just kidding.
I'm definitely looking forward to what season 3 brings as far as episodes go. The guests that we're going to have on, and kind of branching out and adding a new brand so we can handle celebrities and industry guests that are maybe a little bit too busy to watch the movies. So we're going to be adding that arm to it. So we have lots of cool stuff coming in season 3. But the big thing, I'm looking forward to is the nail gun feature film. That is what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to seeing that motherfucker happen. And that's going to be exciting. And I can't wait. We'll share the pictures, share behind-the-scenes videos, all kinds of cool stuff with our patrons. That's all going to be available on our Patreon page. So I can't wait to share that stuff with you guys, bring you guys along on that journey that you helped us to start. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So season 3 coming up. And so the last thing we need to do before we jump into the movies that we're doing tonight is we need to do the bloodbath coin flip.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so this month's bloodbath is between me and Johnny. Right?
Johnny and I.
Johnny and I.
Jesus, we're not to red state yet. You can't be acting like a Nazi.
Those are commies, not Nazis.
Grammar commies.
Same fucking thing.
So this you eat pieces of shit for breakfast? No. So Grizzly Adams did have a beard. So yes, this month's bloodbath number 22, which we will be shooting here, recording here soon, is between Johnny O and myself, and it will be the Firefly family versus the Sawyer family.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Yeah, really. We agreed on this.
We did? I don't recall.
Don't fucking cry about it now. So
I'm not crying about anything.
So we're going to do the coin flip and decide. Okay, so who's gonna remind me? How do we fucking do this? We flip the coin, and the winner chooses who they want to represent.
Yeah, are we doing like whoever wins the coin flip picks, or
last time we did it, it was heads was one and tails was the other.
Okay, so then
who won the last debate between you two?
It was between you and I.
No. We'll do this. So heads is the Firefly family. No, that doesn't make sense.
That's what we did last time.
How about this?
How I got stuck with
Johnny? Call it in the air. If you win, you get to pick. If not, JL gets to pick.
I'm thinking that. Yeah. If you win, you get your pick of whichever one you want.
Yeah, do it that way.
Okay, so here we go.
We clearly didn't have a green room fucking discussion before the show.
No, because that was the random thing. So it was like, if it's heads, it's going to be the Firefly family. If it's tails, it's going to be the Sawyers.
That's not going to work on this.
Yes, it will, because Johnny will choose one, and if it's not that one, then the other person gets.
All right, heads is Firefly, tails is Sawyer. Johnny, call it in the air.
Oh yeah, you decide which one you have to decide which one you want, right?
Oh my god.
I tell you what, this is what we're gonna play. We're gonna play heads I win, tails you lose. Okay, flip it.
Okay.
Heads I win, tails I still win.
Now this way it's gonna go. So either one. So whoever wins, that person picks. So Fireflies, Sawyers. Johnny, call it in the air.
Tails never fails.
It's tails.
It's the only thing I'm going to win because I don't really care about these families. I'll take the Sawyers. I'll let you have the easy one.
Oh, you give me the Fireflies.
I'll give you the easy one.
You're so dead.
We'll see what happens.
Well, you were going to lose either way.
All right, you got that.
Only because you're sleeping with one of the judges. Alex,
Johnny,
by the way, I need you to stop doing that, okay?
Travis Brown says the Tom Sawyer family.
Yep.
All right,
I got Rush on my side, motherfucker.
So Johnny O is taking the Sawyers, and I am taking the Fireflies.
The Sawyers.
Hey, real quick before we move forward.
Go ahead. I was going to say the Sawyers. Those are the ones that defeated Freddy Krueger, right?
No.
What?
His face.
I'm not even biting the joke, dude. Come on.
No.
Come with that weak shit.
That's what D. Wallace said to you.
Oh shit!
Yeah, go. Wait for the vein.
Don't tell me. Don't tempt me, JL. Don't say, don't come with that cold, that easy bullshit. I'll throw the hard ones out there. I'll throw the haymakers out there. We haven't even gotten off of Tracy Lord yet. I mean, brought up Tracy Lord yet.
You mean gotten off on Tracy Lord, not off.
Wow.
Either way works.
Jill said we're trying to have celebrities on the show.
Works.
Careful.
You think this is the first time Tracy Lord's heard a bad sex joke about her?
Oh, I've no doubt. I mean, anywho,
at least we waited till she was of age.
Tracy's gonna beat your ass.
Some people pay good money for that.
I'm waiting for that gets bad. Where's what part of that?
Where's the thread here?
Yeah.
Was there a thread in there somewhere?
Yeah.
A thread or a promise?
Yeah.
All right. So that has been decided. Then Bloodbath number 22, which will go up 1 month early for our patrons. Our patrons get early access to that, depending upon the patron tier you're on. And then everyone else will get to hear it a month after that. So early access for our patrons. Bloodbath 22, Johnny O versus JL, the Sawyers, the Sawyer family from Texas Chainsaw Massacre versus the Firefly family from House of a Thousand Corpses. This is going to be interesting. All right. So fuck it. As I like to say, we're here to talk about fucking horror movies. Isn't that right, Alex?
Yeah. You almost
so
just stole my line. Fucking
Eugene.
Your line.
What do we have up first?
All right, flying through these movies today. The first one we have is a very, very fun movie released September 19th, 1997. It is Wishmaster, directed by Robert Kurtzman, starring Tammy Lauren, Andrew Didoff, and narrated by Angus Scrim on it.
So that's Andrew Divoff, D-I-V-O-X. Divoff.
JL, you can't do that to him. You can't do this to
It's Angus Scrim.
It doesn't matter. It's
No,
Eugene we're talking about.
That was the one he got.
Yeah, I said narrated by Angus Scrim.
Well, now you said it.
Yeah, that's what I said.
He got the one. He got that one right.
Yeah.
We'll fix it.
We're supposed to. We talked to his teacher about this. We're supposed to applaud his victories. Damn it.
Yeah, they're few and far in between. Let me have them.
Anyway,
Wishmaster.
And basically, you have a gene that goes and tricks people into wishing for different things, and then he turns their wishes into nightmares and kills a whole lot of people. And shit gets real.
There it is.
Yeah.
had to end it on a shit gets real for sure. God. That's not even fucking touching it lightly. If you haven't seen the movie, it's like you've seen this story 100 fucking times before. Be careful what you wish for. Because you could be like, I want shit. Now I'm not going to be able to come up with, I want a nice car, but then there's like some fucking way to fuck it up and kill you with it, and it's terrible. And if you watch Supernatural,
the idea of the twisted wish. There was an episode of the X-Files. There was an episode of the X-Files that actually did this.
Yeah, they did great.
Where Mulder found a genie, and then I wish for world peace. So the genie made everyone on the planet.
Everybody leaves.
Yeah,
I don't really see a problem.
Was it Erie, Indiana that did a riff off this as well? Where the little girl found it, she found it, and then she wanted everybody to. I wish everybody would buzz off and then turn everybody into flies. But it wasn't the genie wasn't being malicious. She just didn't get it. She just like, I thought I did what you asked.
This goes all the way back to fucking kids' books too. Me and my daughter, we just read a book called The Seventh Wish, and there was a fish that when you caught it, it would give you a wish. And she, this kid wished for something and learned real fast that, not the things that you want aren't necessarily the things that you want.
The oldest instance of this one I saw was The Monkey's Paw. Do you guys remember that short story?
Of course.
Yeah. Yes. That was, we watched that I think like 6th grade. It was great.
That was a recent. There was a film version of that done with Stephen. Oh God, fuck yeah.
Stephen Godfrey.
Fuck yeah.
No.
Great
shit.
name.
He was from Avatar. I'm too busy to be on fire. He was in Don't Breathe.
Yeah.
The badass dude.
Not Dorf.
Yeah, he played the general in Avatar.
Yeah, in Avatar. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember his last name, but
I can't remember
it.
his last name.
Continue on. I'll remember it. But he did. There was a movie version of the Monkey's Paw where he was brought back to life by the Monkey's Paw.
So in the version that I saw of the Monkey's Paw, the parents find, this dad finds this Monkey's Paw and makes a wish on it, and one of them he needed money to pay some sort of bills, but the way that the wish came true was that there was an accident at his son's work that killed his son. So the insurance money paid him out the exact amount of money that he needed. And then his wife wished that his son came back to life. So in the middle of the night, there's like this, banging at the door that it's implied that it's the son trying to get back in. And this old man looks for the Monkey's Paw so he can make the one last wish that, I wish my son dead, buried, and then that's when the door stopped banging and then he throws the Monkey's Paw in the middle of the forest. But that was like I said, whenever I saw Wishmaster the first time, that was the first thing I thought of was a Monkey's Paw because of that, that twisted wish.
Yeah. Stephen Lang, that was it.
Lang, there it is.
Okay.
Oh yes, Travis Brown points up that was an episode of Goosebumps called "Be Careful What You Wish For." There was a monkey paw.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
It wasn't not Erie, Indiana. It was Goosebumps.
And the tale. It's a tale as old as time.
It
but
really is.
It has been. Going back to
like Disney. What the fuck?
We're not monetized yet. So, but and that's what it's an enduring story. It's an enduring myth. That what you want. People typically don't know what they want. You may want something right now, but when you get it, it always loses its luster because you think you want it now, but after you get it, things change. And I like that. That it's one of those. It traces its roots back, way back in human history. Just that very philosophical notion, and I like that.
That's when the Powerball started.
And I've always dug it, and I think almost every Jinju is correct. Almost every episode of Friday the 13th was all about that. You get that item that gives you what you want, but there's always a price to pay.
Yep.
So and I like it, and I like this one, of course, and then a magnificent villain, played by Divoff. Andrew Divoff.
Man, he started out as a magnificent villain, but as the series went on, he just turned into like some sort of shitty Power Rangers villain.
Well, he was only in the first two.
No, I know,
And then
I know.
The second two, he didn't reprise the role, but in the first one,
because he read
amazing.
the script and said, "I need to wipe my ass. I'll take this script. Thank you."
Yeah, in the second one, or in the first one, he was absolutely amazing, and I thought this is a brand new horror icon. Now, given the pedigree that was behind it, you got Andrew Divoff, who's a magnificent character actor, looks the role, has the voice, and then of course, the kind of creation behind it, you have a fantastic, legend that everybody's familiar with, great effects, great monster design, and a script co-written by one of the guys who wrote Hellraiser. And you can see the parallels when you start thinking about it. The alternate, the creature from the alternate dimension, bringing someone to that one. You summoned me here. You made a wish. You opened the puzzle box. You see a lot of great similarities between them. Whereas in the Cenobites are offering like immortality with pleasure and pain. He's offering whatever wish you want, but the downside is, I get your fucking soul. So
I get to interpret that wish how I feel.
Interpret, unless you word it just right, which is the whole.
But there's no way.
Well, you have to word it. I mean, she did at the end of the film.
Yeah, I mean, that's right.
But she made it very simple. Nothing that I wanted. Is just I want him to not be drinking on that day. Granted, then reverse all the events. None of the events took place. Done.
Yeah.
Which is an important fact to remember.
She made an unselfish wish.
Yep.
There it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
God, now that you say it, it's in so many fucking stories.
Yes.
Yep. That's the way.
Great.
Yeah, that's the way you beat that. Yeah.
I was going to say,
Bedazzled was a big one. I mentioned that because it just came up in my YouTube feed as a free movie. They just added it. And I was thinking.
Not to mention, she is very, very attractive.
Elizabeth Hurley? Yeah. But
she's very nice to look at.
She was amazing to hang out with. I got the opportunity to hang out with Elizabeth on the set of Serving Sarah while she was in between takes. She was absolutely lovely, awesome to hang around. Unlike approachable. You wouldn't think she, as a celebrity of her status, you wouldn't think you could just approach her. She's totally approachable. Hung out with the extras, hung out with the crew, whatever. She's just totally affable. Awesome lady. But yeah, given that, every single time he made, you get a wish. You get a wish and you get to have whatever you want to try and get the girl or whatever. And then every single one, super tall, very tiny dick. I want to be president. He happened to be President Lincoln.
That's great. Yeah.
That was funny.
The most sensitive man in the world.
What the hell?
That's my favorite.
Man. 999. Wait a minute. Door.
My favorite is still the cartel one because he's just like, I can speak Spanish.
Yeah.
I don't understand I can speak Russian now also.
Yeah.
I speak Russian too.
Yeah.
My favorite's still the most sensitive guy ever, the most sensitive man. And then when he looks at the sunset, so it's comedy. It can be comedic, but also quite terrifying. And that's why I said, where I brought up Stephen Lang in The Monkey's Paw was a very effective little kind of slasher type.
Well, see, if you look at Pet Sematary, can be considered a little bit like that as well. That because the most people have that. I want to be able to see this person or that person again. So that's kind of one of the a lingering thing. I wish I could bring this person back. Oh well, here you go, dead and rotten. Want to fucking chew your face off, but there you go. Yeah, you didn't say pre-decomposition. And you didn't say non-cannibalistic. So you let me interpret that. So there you go.
Travis Brown does happen to bring up Tony Todd, Robert Englund, and Ted Raimi, but a bunch of others were all throughout that film. I mean, that's what makes a good horror, a brand new horror icon. It's just you got to make it
passing
above all else. Exactly, passing of the torch. And I think, Andrew Divoff did amazing. And of course, I think in the third and the fourth, the Bruce Payne Bruce Payne took over the role? Was that who took
I don't
over?
know. It
I
looks
can't
again.
remember.
I swear to God, they went to Power Rangers. That's what I saw the third and fourth. I'm thinking, oh, go Power Rangers. Where's
Why does the Wishmaster look like Ivan
Ranger?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah.
Also, Tommy shows up in Kimberly.
Mr. Malord says sometimes dead is better.
Yeah,
this is true.
Miss Fred Gwynn. That guy was amazing.
God, side note, did you guys see that fucking sheriff that made that comment? No? Okay. We can talk about that at some other time. There was a video on the internet of a police-involved shooting, and the sheriff is getting fucking flack because he went in front on his press conference, went up, and he's like, why do we put so many rounds in the guy?
Oh,
because
I saw
evil can't be dead enough.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Jesus Christ. I saw the.
That's fucked up.
It's fucked up. Right? I saw
the video too. Yeah. It was, seriously though, like it was a miracle that those cops made it out of their life. But
it really was, but really sometimes you got to know what not to say.
Yeah.
Right.
Listen,
that dude was just proud of his boys, okay?
This was his one famous moment, and he was going to leave an impression.
He fucking took it.
He took that and broke a major rule of engagement.
Seriously, but yeah.
Check your body, your mouth's right, and checks your body can't cash, which is essentially what this movie is about.
Yes.
Hey.
I like how I did that, right?
Yes, fucking lasso that shit back in.
But
Alex is drinking a big old jar of pee-pee.
I see.
It's even frothy at
recycling. I'm doing my part to save the planet.
I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed the cameos that were within it. There were lots, and Andrew Divoff really brought it. The creature design is great. You have great moments like he's like, make your wish, child. They're like, you're pissing me off. And it's so. The way he jumps back and forth between the monitor, I love to see when he blows his fucking head off. She's like, I wish for you to kill yourself. Boom! Yeah, that's gonna do shit. But if you want to use your wish on that, but
my favorite wish.
If it's any consolation, that hurt like hell.
My favorite wish came in the second one, and you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. When Divoff is in the prison.
Oh shit! When it was fucking Tiny Lister.
So Tiny Lister is there too, but that's not the wish. The wish is when he's talking to that Mexican gangbanger, and he was all pissed off because he didn't think his sentence wasn't going to get overturned, or he thought that he was about to get his lawyer was about to deliver him bad news. And he's like, "Now I wish my lawyer would just go fuck himself." And then Divoff goes, "Granted." And then he's sitting there in the in the meeting with his lawyer, and his lawyer's like, "Look, great news. The evidence against you is tainted. We have to throw it out. So we're gonna get you out." And then all of a sudden he like twists up, he starts fucking himself.
I did like Tiny Lister's wish. He's like, I wish I could have 5 minutes alone with you in a room with no. It was like in a room with no doors, some shit like that. Granted. And so he's like, well, whatever. He's like, right here, bitch.
Yeah. They use that same gag in the fourth one, though. Like, we already saw
it was
that.
funny when he comes out of the gem the first time, and he's like all tiny, and he has to grow. It's like the big version. That was Vern fucking Troyer.
Really?
When he was like the baby, like the baby version of himself, and he was all tiny, then he had to kind of like turn into the big version. The little one that crawled, that was Vern Troyer. Before he exploded as Mini-Me.
That'd have been right around the same time, wouldn't it? Because that was 1997.
That's like the same.
Close. I think it was. I think the next up would have been that. But that was Vern Troyer in the little tiny Wishmaster costume.
That part just made me laugh. Right, with that, and then again the second one where they broke him out of the statue, and he's just his head with these weird arm things. I laughed at that. I thought it was funny as shit. It's like, this is fucking goofy.
All right, take a look. Wrote it. No last names in the house. It's Gabba Gabba. Hey, everybody. Greetings from the post-apocalypse. He is out there at Weekend Warrior, the kind of Burning Man for the Mad Max Burning Man.
Mad Max Burning Man, yeah.
Pictures
didn't happen.
Pictures didn't happen, yeah.
He is sending pictures. He has been sending pictures, and they look badass. So Weekend Wasteland, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
So,
that was last weekend, wasn't it?
I think it's going. No, is it? I don't know if it's over.
I don't know either.
I think it's last for a while. Yeah, let us know, Rodin. So definitely. So I think it's trivia time.
Yeah, our first trivia question.
Yes. So let us share. Let us share with the audience. Here we go. Wasteland. Yes. Alpha K91. So yes, here we go. Here's the first trivia question of the night. Let me share with you what we're giving away for the movie Wishmaster. We are giving away
one wish.
No. Hang on.
I wish whoever wins goes on a date with Johnny.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We are giving away.
I don't think Wasteland starts till next weekend, guys.
A Todd McFarlane Movie Maniacs mint in box Wishmaster figure. And this was from the Movie Maniacs 5 series.
That's
everybody
old.
is using their Google Foo to look up how much it's worth.
Yes. So this bad boy we are giving away for this trivia question for Wishmaster.
It's not over, by the way.
I will show that and then bank that out. Boom.
I think it's next weekend.
That's what we're giving away. Eugene, take it away.
All right. Remember, there's a trivia question for each movie we talk about. So even if you don't win this one, there's still 3 more opportunities to win something later on in the podcast. All right. So the first person to comment below in the chat with the correct answer will win. And the question is, what 3 horror icons did the Djinn directly kill in the first Wishmaster?
Pay attention to the wording.
Pay attention.
Yes.
What 3 horror icons did the Djinn directly kill in the first Wishmaster? There are a lot of horror icons, but he directly killed 3 of them. Name all 3.
Christopher Music Channel. Tracy Lords in the observatory.
With the screwdriver.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Not that screwdriver.
Oh, I'd love to observe.
I was going to say with the flashlight.
Travis Brown.
Oh, Travis Brown.
Yeah, we got an answer already.
Super quick.
Yeah.
Travis Brown with the Tony Todd, Kane Hodder, and Robert Englund. That's right.
I'm going to give you some shit now, JL. Fuck you. You gave this away. It was
no, I never said it.
Yes, you did.
No,
yes,
I never said it. They said it in the chat.
Yeah, Travis said it in the chat already.
He said Tony Todd, Robert Englund, and Ted Raimi.
Yeah, it's true.
That's true.
You did highlight it,
though.
But it's
I did. You know, speaking of highlighting things, I want to highlight the fact that I heckled Kane Hodder and lived.
You did.
It was
like, he heckled Kane Hodder not 6 feet away from him.
Yep, it was great.
That dude was little, but he's intimidating. He wears the gloves, and he's
Travis
like,
Brown, congratulations. Yes, it was Tony Todd, Kane Hodder, Robert Englund. The Wishmaster killed Candyman, Jason, and Freddy all in the same movie. Dude, you got to get that cred. When you're a new icon, you got to get that cred. We said killed. They didn't stay dead because obviously time was reversed.
Yeah, time was reversed.
But I have to give it to Kane Hodder in that scine, who had the best scene in that when he was like, "Isn't there something that you wish for?" He's like, "I wish for you to go away." And he was like, No, I have to get it.
It was so great. It was so great.
He's like, no.
That was a really good scene.
Tony Todd gets drowned because he gets chucked in the escape tank, and then I can't remember how did he kill, because it happens in the third act in the big climax at the big museum part.
Did he get stabbed with a statue or some shit? Some weird thing like fell on him and stabbed him or something like that?
I have to go back and watch. It's been a second.
Sarcasm is challenging your.
He says the actors are not the icons.
He said actually it's Candyman, Freddy Krueger, and Jason.
I said that.
Technically, what?
I said Candyman, Jason.
But the answer was Kane Hodder.
Tony Todd, Kane Hodder.
Tony Todd.
Because horror icons can mean either the actor or the character.
Thank you, Eugene. Thank you very much. So, and the George said Kane Hodder having the best scene. No way. I enjoy it. Made me laugh. There's a lot of awesome scenes in that. There really is.
I think he was being sarcastic.
But that
Kane Hodder being the best scene. No way.
You got to put the sarcastic face on there, George, so we can see it.
He did. It's in capital.
Congratulations to Travis Brown.
Yep.
Wow, brand new listener, bro. You first time joining us, and he's already won a trivia.
Hop in the
trivia
Discord
question.
and send us your
Your shipping details. Shoot us your shipping details at weekinhorror@gmail.com or go to the Discord. You can contact us directly there. The link is in the description. So just hit those up and let us know where we can send your figure.
Okay. Alex, what do we got next?
Yes,
right.
Alex. I'm sure you loved this movie.
It was actually pretty good. I was going to kick it off with, let's talk about this mediocre Project Greenlight movie, but then I actually watched it and it was actually pretty good.
Believe it or not, I think at the time it was the only one that made money, or it was the only one that was successful.
Out of Greenlight for sure.
It was silly as fuck, but
I've seen some of the other Greenlight ones.
It was good. It was like a serious Shaun of the Dead, almost. All right, so we're talking about Feast. Came out September 22nd, 2006.
Mm-hmm.
This movie was directed by John Gulager, produced by Michael Leahy, Joel Soyson, we'll go with that, Larry Tanz, and Andrew Jameson. This one was starring Balthazar Getty, Krista Allen, Josh Zuckerman, Navi Rawat, Jenny Wade, Henry Rollins, Dwayne Whitaker, and Aline Ryan is the grandma, which was great. This story revolves around a group of people gathered inside a bar in Nevada where they're suddenly attacked by a horde of monstrous creatures, which were actually kind of fucking scary.
The creature effects were really good.
Yeah, they really were. And so they're in a bar and these monsters show up and they've got to fight their fucking way out, which it's just a fucking bloodbath, as you could imagine.
Christopher News Channel, serious Shaun of the Dead? How does that even work? It worked in this movie, I can guarantee you that.
It really did.
Mr. Malord, the Battle of Shaker Heights, it was so bad. So bad.
But yeah, this was interesting because, and I remember because my family subscribed to HBO, and I remember when they announced Project Greenlight, and that was kind of like, it was almost like my intro into like indie film, because at that time I was aware of mainstream movies, but I was like independent movies. And then Project Greenlight came out. I was like, this is interesting. And I remember the first movie they did was like this drama, and it
So
did
they
okay.
did. Yeah, they had there. I think there are 4 different iterations of Project Greenlight. The first one, they picked your script, like you would write a script, submit it, and then do all this. And then they picked you were the one who directed it, and they realized writers aren't directors.
Yeah,
weird concept.
Yeah, it was so bad. The script they picked was so full of challenges. And honestly, Project Greenlight isn't about the movie; it's about the show, right? So they said, "Well, we lost money in this movie." No, the fuck you didn't. You made money in that show. Right?
Yeah,
So
it's about the process, about documenting the process. Yeah.
So if they were to include that revenue from the show into the revenue that these films made, they all made money. All the films made money. But then they changed it up for the second season they did a writing contest and a directing contest. That's when the Battle of Shaker Heights came out. That one I thought it was a much better idea because they, 2 different challenges for 2 different roles, and it worked. And then they picked the directors they picked were these 2 goofballs. Like, man, why would you pick these 2 morons? All the projects they had going up did not hold to the quality of the other directors that were in the running. I didn't agree with the picks. And then HBO said, we're not going to do this show anymore. And I think it went to TNT or Sci-Fi or some shit. That's when Feast was picked. That was the 3rd season, because there was a break between the 2nd and 3rd season. It was like a year or 2 break, and they brought it back for Feast. That's the one that got picked up. And then HBO picked it back up, and I think they did 1 or 2 more years, and that was it. I don't think they're doing Project Greenlight anymore.
Yeah, they have for a while.
But I remember that. I was right there with you, JL, watching Project Greenlight, thinking, "Hey, that could be me one day."
It was interesting. It was kind of like, wow. I mean, just kind of like these grassroots guys coming out of nowhere. I can make movies too, and it was like that was my first introduction to independent film, and kind of like I could be a filmmaker. It was like I don't have to go to before that, you have this idea. I got to go to film school. I got to know the right people. I have to do all this. This could be eventually be big movies. It's like no, you could just make a fucking movie. And when you look at how they go through that process, and while, yeah, it's HBO, they're going to have access to equipment and shit that, you normally don't because they have the resources. They have HBO resources, but they also have $1 million to play with.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That's what the budget was, get $1 million to shoot this movie. And I was like, wow, I mean, I've never had that. But then again, it taught me how to do a lot with very, very little, which is why you can shoot a movie for 10 grand and get a really solid product. So that was kind of my entrance in that. I really, really enjoyed Project Greenlight, but this one was great because Feast, not what you'd expect.
No.
Fuck, and I totally forgot fucking Jason Mewes was in this too. What the fuck was his edgy cat? Yeah.
But I absolutely adore self-aware comedy. Like Hero, and then heroine number 1, heroine number 2, and I fucking love that they have this self-awareness, this comedy. The movie did not take itself too seriously, but god dang, they dumped a good chunk of the budget in the monster design on these.
Yeah, for sure. This one, okay, so a little bit of pushing back. I was reading that it was their budget was like $3 million, and I think it only grossed like $658,000, and so it kind of sucks that they didn't really make it off the top. Because they had that $3 million budget, and you can tell, it's not just like some fucking, in your house, there was some money into this, and you could fucking tell, and then it just didn't do so great right off the bat. I think this movie would do better now than it did then, honestly.
Oh, it just might. And, well, at least it didn't do, the first one didn't do extremely well, but I'm pretty sure, like Johnny said, they recouped a lot of that budget from HBO. That's how they made money on that, because the movie did get 2 sequels. There's Feast 2, there's Feast 2, Sloppy Seconds.
Yeah.
And then Feast 3, the final course, or
I can't remember what meal?
Something of that nature. But Feast 2, Sloppy Seconds was hilarious. Feast 2 actually had Cassie Shea Watson in it. Cassie Shea was actually on Week in Horror, which I think she was like our 4th guest on the show.
That was at the beginning for sure.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
She was great. That was right when the pandemic started too.
What was she talking about in Feast 2? There was a scene with a cat. There was like a cat that was on set. They decided to use it for a horror scene. It's like one of the monsters fucks the cat.
Yeah.
It's so fucked up. It was so fucking crazy. And the George says, what movie are we on, boys? Just gone from work. We are on Feast. We just
our second film.
Thank you, and the George. Feast 3, The Happy Finish. Gross. But yes, very disgusting. But I love self-aware comedy. I love self-aware horror, especially self-aware horror comedy. We could laugh as much as this movie. I think that's the only way a movie this gross could actually, resonate with anybody, was because of the level of comedy. I laughed my ass off as much as I kind of like, it's like, fucking disgusting and shit. And it just got worse. It got more gross and more funny the further along it went. So I love the fact that these guys managed to put this thing together and have this much fun. But the monster design is one of the coolest. I think there's another horror movie we recently watched called, what was it? Animal? I think it was Animal. That was about a bunch of monsters. That was actually somewhat similar in design to this one, with the the kind of like quadruped, long arms, almost gorilla kind of build, and big ass claws, and then the long face. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So got kind of the same vibe off of that one. That one I believe is available on Amazon, maybe YouTube, or sorry, Amazon, maybe Netflix. But a good little horror movie called Animal. I think it was about some people trapped in a national forest by a bunch of monsters. So, but this one was cool. I really enjoyed it. Easy setting, and it just goes to show you, all you need is one setting and a bunch of people in costumes ripping apart. That was it, the gas station restaurant, the diner.
Yeah, diner.
Yeah, and then tearing it up.
All the above. Gas station.
Alpha Canyon says, I did a 1-day job for Project Greenlight. What are the odds?
Wow.
Cool. Oh, that's awesome.
That's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
That's crazy, because Project Greenlight wasn't the executive producers on that, like fucking like Ben Affleck and Matt Damon,
because Ben Affleck and Matt Damon got their start on making indie films, and so once at that point they kind of hit it big, the idea was for them to help other filmmakers get their big break, because you get $1 million. Honestly, there are a lot of great filmmakers out there that they just need the opportunity.
That's the only thing they're missing. That's the only thing they're lacking. And that's why.
God, speaking of, at the beginning of the chat, at the beginning of the show, they were talking about Dogma. It's like it's kind of a weird fucking circle we just made there.
And I mean, but that's just pretty much it. A lot of these people, they just need the opportunity to do so. And just like this, the internet, what the internet has done for us, YouTube, what YouTube has done for us is given us the opportunity to do the very same thing. We were able to create a show, that we pretty much put out there. You guys enjoyed enough. Our patrons enjoyed enough to support us. You guys listen every fucking week. You come out and hear us talk about this stuff. Your support has enabled us to do that very same fucking thing. So there you have it.
It's our very own Project Greenlight.
Project Greenlight.
Ivy Gage says Kevin Smith gave him their start. Let's see if I remember. Kevin Smith, he did cast Ben Affleck in. He cast Ben Affleck in Mallrats, and he cast him in Chasing Amy. Matt Damon was cast in Chasing Amy in a small role as the assistant to Brian O'Halloran's executive when they're talking about the cartoon.
Matt Damon
cartoon. Did they do? Wait. But didn't they do?
Their big break was Good Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting. Didn't they do Good Will Hunting before they showed up in the View Askew universe?
I think it was around the same time. I know.
Around the same time?
I know Good Will Hunting messed up Saving Private Ryan. Because they actually, Matt Damon filmed his scene for Saving Private Ryan before he did Good Will Hunting. And Steven Spielberg wanted to cast a nobody. So they find Ryan, and it's just no name. You don't recognize. It's just another face on it. But Good Will Hunting had a faster turnaround and was released 6 months before Saving Private Ryan did.
Gotcha.
And
he was still a no name. I mean, honestly, some people were starting to catch on who he was, and I mean that movie did like throw them into the spotlight, but he was still fresh enough that it kind of got away. People were like, "Hey, I think that's that guy." You know what I mean?
Because there's a lot there. First of all, a lot of women loved Matt Damon, and Good Will Hunting won a bunch of awards already.
Right? No, I get it.
Yeah, and so I mean, Steven Spielberg at that point, his movie's done. It's like
I can't shoot this shit.
All right, and the George said, "You did say loved Feast really funny when the monsters ate their spawn and they made 2 more in seconds. I was shooketh." Yes, there was great shit like that was in Feast. That's what made it fantastic. And yes, Travis Brown, Yondu was in Mallrats. Yeah, that was Michael Rooker kicking ass. Interesting fact, Michael Rooker was bald in that because originally Kevin Smith wrote a script for Superman called Superman Reborn, and the person he envisioned for Lex Luthor was Michael Rooker. So he intended to do that, but that project got scrapped. It never happened. So a bald Michael Rooker is how he got his Lex Luthor, and that was in Mallrats. That's why he wanted to play it like the whole the evil genius behind the whole show and everything. It was like that was his Lex Luthor. That's how Kevin Smith got his Lex Luthor. But how dare you, says Chasing Amy sucks, I will fight you. My friend, those are fucking fighting words. Fighting words. Chasing Amy, still Kevin Smith's best film he's ever made. Greatest film he's ever made. And Tony Regime says, I'd love a Jay and Silent Bob horror film. Hopefully we'll get one soon. It's called Moose Jaws. I'm hoping he'll one day finish up his Great White North trilogy. Guys, apparently and supposedly Jay and Silent Bob are supposed to die in that will be the death of them. And hopefully he'll finish that after he finishes Clerks 3. Let me see here. I know somebody said that. Travis Presley, I've seen Tusk from Kevin Smith, and it was all right. Tusk was amazing. And I thought it was great. And he also said he sent us his. Oh, cool. Got your info. I just got the email. So got the Travis. So that'll work. There was one other thing that somebody mentioned. Mr. Lord said The Boys from County Hell is a good self-aware horror comedy, plus a great Pogue song. And Travis Brown said, would love to see Crazy Nick Cage as Superman. That would have been amazing.
That would have been.
What do you mean would have been? That could still happen.
Oh, maybe one day.
It could.
I could certainly play Superman.
I could play Superman if
no, kryptonite.
Yeah. Not the kryptonite! Not the kryptonite! Where's my Oscar?
Calm down there, Leo.
Johnny, that looks fine. What you typed in the private chat, that looks great. All right, so man, I think it's trivia time.
I think so. I
think so too. Yeah.
What do you think, Alex? Is it trivia time?
I think it is fucking trivia time.
Let's share what we're going to give away in the trivia.
All right, let's
talk about Feast some more.
Why?
Here we go. So,
We're done.
Get those
I
fingers
was
ready.
ready.
Get that Google food ready, because here's our second trivia prize of the night. We're giving away an Original Feast Original Feast one-sider.
You got it.
Are you sure?
One side. Sorry, but just only one shot, one like that. But Original
That's
Feast.
what Tracy said.
Oh, damn.
Wow.
That doesn't even make any fucking sense.
But it still fucking
it
got
still
it.
worked.
Yep.
So there you have it. We're giving away. I'm just trying to move on with the show.
I know, but it's fun. It's fun messing with you a little bit.
And so we'll be giving that away for this trivia question. So get those fingers ready. Alex?
All right. The writers of Feast, Patrick Melton and Marcus Dunstan, also created what horror icon that was intended to be a Saw prequel? Again, the writers of Feast, Patrick Melton and Marcus Dunstan, also created what horror icon that was intended to be a Saw prequel?
Now, are we looking for the icon specifically, or will we take the film as well?
I think it's the same thing, isn't it?
Jesus Christ, Alex.
First one in the live chat wins. First one in the live chat wins the Feast movie poster. Trivia question, Christopher Music Channel. Trivia question 2. Tracy Lords in the cafeteria with a kumquat. Tony Regime said the tall man. No, not quite. Although Angus Scrim was a legend. So first one in the live chat gets it. One more time. The writers of Feast, Patrick Melton and Marcus Dunstan, also created what horror icon that was intended originally to be a Saw prequel?
Mm-hmm.
Looking for that answer. Travis
Sarcasm.
Brown won our first one. Sarcasm is in the house. Congratulations.
Nice.
Sarcasm.
Nice. Correct.
That's the one.
That is the
That is
Collector. Yes, The Collector was originally supposed to be a Saw prequel film called The Midnight Man. But it got taken, pretty much as they scrapped that idea, continued on with more Saw sequels instead of doing a prequel, and we got The Collector, which I actually love that movie. Collector and
Which
The
was
Collector.
a huge mistake for Saw.
I cannot wait for.
Could not agree with you more, Johnny.
The Collector. I can't wait for The
absolutely
Collector.
true.
The Collector 3 will be fantastic.
So
And the George
Saw
said, "Yep,
so
it was
bad.
The Collector."
So many bad films after the first Saw film. They should have went with the.
So
They
They should have went with The Collector.
Some examples are Saw 2.
3, 4,
Saw
5,
4,
6,
6,
7, 8,
7.
9. Oh, wait, it stopped at 8. No, well, the one with
there's
the one with
Spiral
Chris
now.
Rock,
Yeah, Jigsaw.
Jigsaw.
No,
Jigsaw?
Spiral.
No,
Spiral.
Spiral.
Oh, Spiral. Yeah, Jigsaw.
Yeah.
before
Yeah,
Spiral.
Spiral was actually quite good.
Yeah,
I thought
Spiral
it
was
was
okay,
an
yeah.
improvement. Travis Brown says Kevin McAllister is Jigsaw as a young kid.
That's actually pretty funny. That's a
Yeah.
pretty funny
The family-friendly
fan
version
theory.
of Saw. Yeah.
So, congratulations to Sarcasm. It was The Collector. You win the original Feast one sheet. We really appreciate that. So let's we got a third one. Let's move on to a third one.
Yeah,
Johnny,
sure. Let's burn through it. Let's go.
Johnny, what do
Through
we
this
got?
good. All
Let's talk about
right.
some more fucking communism because
There
that's
we
all
go.
you fucking talk about on this podcast.
I'm looking forward to
of-
talking about this one.
Speaking of Kevin Smith, let's talk about a 2011 American independent horror thriller film called Red State. Written and directed by Kevin Smith, starring Michael Perks, John Goodman, Michael, was that Agrano? Yeah, we'll say that. Melissa Leo and Stephen Root. This is an interesting film. Teenagers Travis Jared, and Billy Ray drive to meet a woman named Sarah in response to an invitation for group sex. And we all know what happens when sex is involved in horror films.
Mm-hmm.
Along the way, they accidentally
Dale
sideswipe
turns
a
the
parked
lights off and
vehicle.
shuts the blinds.
And Tracy Lord shows up. Yes.
With D. Wallace.
With D. Wallace. Man, oh man. Now he's a man. Oh, jeez. Anyway, Red State. A lot of fun. Independent horror film. Kevin Smith.
Tracy D.
Does it matter?
It can only become so erect right now.
I can't get any harder. It's already harder. Kick it harder.
Super Troopers. You can't get over it.
I can't get any more blood to pump through it.
Fucking Tenacious D.
Demonetize. Google moderator's about to come in and shut our shit down.
No, dude, our FBI agent's laughing his ass off. You know it.
That's true.
The FBI's like, yeah, okay. We'll let this one slide because I know who both these actresses are. Mm-hmm.
It's like in fucking it's like in Clerks 2. You got the one dude on the side. Fucking A.
Kelly and the sexy stud.
There you go.
I always love that scene. I fucking love that scene of him going on about Lord of the Rings and just shitting all over Randall shitting on Lord of the Rings. Yo, how about the second movie? Oh, this is the one guy. This is one guy who's burger. It's like fuck those movies.
Yeah, I'm with him. Anyway, Red State, lots of
Yes.
fun. People die. It's what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Not get laid, apparently.
Not get laid,
Yeah,
apparently.
get
'Cause
laid.
I think that's the moral of the story. Don't try and get laid.
Never try and get laid. It's terrible.
Never.
It's bad for you.
Hey, I decide how I'm going out.
So I did have I picked this one for me. Obviously, I love for those who know my personal channel.
You love Kevin Smith.
I love Kevin Smith. I
Yeah.
love talking about this particular subject because on my personal YouTube channel, that's what I do. And I loved it because this was his first foray into horror film. So the guy who was renowned, for Clerks and dick and fart jokes is how Blunt Man and Chronic, came out with Red State, and it was shocking. It was, creepy in that respect because there's nothing supernatural about it. This is legitimately just people on people violence. Not to mention the fact that who he where the inspiration from this thing came from is wild. And there was a parallel there because we have this podcast, Week in Horror, and we talk about horror movies shit all the time. And the very seeds for Red State started on his podcast when he through the Smodcast podcast. And unlike Tusk, where they actually planned the whole thing out and they actually talked about it there, the seeds for this were because of Kevin Smith's background. He's a former, he would think he was raised Roman Catholic, and he is very familiar with the fundamentalist movement out there. And of course, his movie Dogma, which put him in the crosshairs of people like this, because there were a lot of people that Dogma made very, very angry. So his response to that was to make Red State, which I have to admit, Michael Parks and John Goodman, holy shit, both of them were phenomenal in this one. Michael Parks was scary as fuck. And you should know Michael, for those who don't know Michael Parks from Dusk Till Dawn, he was the sheriff from Kill Bill. He was the sheriff, same character. He was sheriff in that one, and he was also the Mexican pimp that Beatrix goes to talk to in Kill Bill 2. And he was in Tusk. He was the evil, the guy who cuts Justin Long's legs off.
The guy who made Tusk.
Yeah, exactly. And so Michael Parks, legendary actor, goes in there giving it all he's got. Fucking loved it so much, and just terrifying in that respect. But the journey from laying the seeds of the film in the podcast, cultivating those through his fandom, and then boom, all of a sudden we have a horror film, which in essence is what we did. We planted the seeds, we bring people on, we talk to guests, and then all of a sudden we have a horror movie on our hands, which is pretty fucking badass.
We sure did plant seeds. You got the horror movie seed. I've got a child inside.
Just planting seeds everywhere.
Plant seeds all over the place.
Yeah.
Look at his face. Look at his face. I don't know if he's mad or if he's frozen, but it's working.
Yeah. So anyway,
hey, I can say that I got the only week in horror baby.
Yes, this is true. This is true. Yes, Alex did produce the first week in horror baby. So, Travis Brown, yes, Tusk is like a Tales from the Crypt episode. Yes, it was.
Yep.
This one kind of was too in that sense. Just a cautionary tale. Obviously,
don't have sex ever.
Oh shit! Well,
don't take invitations for sex. at night from somebody you've never met before.
That should just be common knowledge, right? I mean, look, I'm not going to tell you what to do with your own parts, but you know what I mean?
You talk
Something
like
about.
I've never had a one night stand. Jeez.
I'm not saying I'm not saying that, right? I'm saying it's not the most intelligent thing to do with all the weird stuff that goes around. Okay.
Fucking true.
You know, because really we could look at this film as an allegory for many different things, right? Like promiscuity. You can look at the horror film, how it treats promiscuity as an allegory for, you know, like Jason Voorhees could be considered herpes. You know, you can get rid of him by the end of the film, but he always comes back. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's the only time I've ever heard that fucking analogy. Jesus Christ. That was a good one,
but it works. I only use Jason Voorhees because you know his obviously there's a lot of sex base in that one. But
and it says it's been a while. I'll take my chances.
I see him like all of a sudden he's like strapped up in a cage and he's like, I couldn't have avoided this in any way whatsoever.
Right. God damn it, Johnny. I'm tired of you being right. But yeah, no, like I said, the allegorical look at the problem of sin, I guess we'll put it out there, even though JL loves that word.
This is just rag on JL episode.
I know, right? Wait. You must be really that roast I did of you at your 5K. That must have really hit because you're hitting me hard tonight.
It's been a while.
Wait a minute. You act like I don't hit you hard every night.
I was gonna say,
not this much. I'm not so much the focus. Not.
Hey, listen, that's the OnlyFans, Johnny. You can't tell people about that.
Sorry. Shh.
You got to put up this comment from Ryan.
Jason.
Ryan. Jason
4Ps.
You gotta send Ryan one of those Week in Horror stickers for that one.
Thank you, Ryan and Nance. Thank you so much.
Just give him something.
You gotta send him a sticker for that one. That was good.
Ryan, that was funny as fuck. Ryan, yes. Go to weekinhorror@gmail.com. The email address is down in the description, or go to our Discord. Message us to Discord. Send me your shipping information. I'm going to send you something. So I'm going to send you something from the
That was good.
That's one of the best comments I've seen in a long time.
That was hilarious. So yeah, we're going to get that. That was going to go. Yeah, Ryan, we're going to send you something from the Week in Horror Vault. So yeah, hop on the Discord or just email us your shipping information, and I'm going to send you something cool. That was fun. That totally derailed me. I was like, where was I? Was like Jason Burpees. But this particular film, I have to admit, being given the content that I do on my other channel, this is fucking freaky. Obviously, nothing supernatural about it, and you have the contrasting characters of Michael Parks and John Goodman. John Goodman is always phenomenal. I've loved him in everything he's ever done. Going all the way back to Chud when he was just a cop in the diner during that movie. But I grew up with him on Roseanne. But then you look at the movies he's done. Fallen was a particularly good one. He was amazing in. And I like this one.
Yeah. I forget about that. I forget about that movie until somebody brings it up. And I think outside of Denzel's performance, I thought John Goodman's performance was the best.
The two of them, their chemistry was fantastic. They played partners, and they worked so well together. John Goodman has great chemistry with everybody. It was fantastic in Oh Brother
That really
Where Art
is
Thou.
true.
Yeah,
like I've never seen him on screen have bad chemistry with anybody.
Right, even Roseanne Barr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck just happened?
Roseanne Barr's Playboy issue.
And it's a Week in Horror OnlyFans for 2 weeks, so maybe.
No, but that is true. Yeah, John Goodman is. I don't think I've seen him in a bad movie.
I take that back. I don't think I've seen a movie that was bad because of John Goodman. He's definitely elevated. Like in Arachnophobia, his character in Arachnophobia was fucking great. Dude, when he busts out the twin guns,
and then after Jeff Daniels kills the big hand spider, he's like, "Oh, thank God." He goes, "Oh, don't mention it." Picks him up. Just all of a sudden, that's great. Just like great stuff out of him.
Absolutely, my favorite fucking John Goodman role was in The Big Lebowski.
Big Lebowski.
Oh,
you want a toe? I can get you a toe.
I'll get you. Yeah, I'll get you to it with nail with polish on it.
Pulls the fucking gun out in the middle of the fucking bowling alley.
Market fucking 0.
Yep.
Smokey, you're entering a world of pain. You're entering a world of pain.
Yeah.
But
yes,
and I love that scene at the very, very end when Michael Parks, they're out there. It's a big confrontation. The FBI's on the scene. Goodman's trying to, control the situation. It's fucking out of control. And then all of a sudden, the trumpets, like the like this, and then we come to find out that we had that great moment where it's like he's like screaming in Goodman's face. Like Parks is like, "Oh, the end is nigh." Like that. Then it cuts away, and then he says, "So yeah, I headbutted the fuck out of him." Because, or like he was like, so he got in my face, so I headbutted him because there was a bunch of weed dealers next door that hated him, so they decided to play these giant trumpets. They thought it was a deal. It's like, so I punched him in the face, and then they threw him in prison. And a funny little cameo. He's in the prison. Michael Parks in the prison. He's in his little cell, and he's going on and on about he's like reciting scripture shit. Then someone from somewhere in the jail yells, "Shut the fuck up." Some way, and that's how the movie ends. That "shut the fuck up" was Kevin Smith.
Makes sense.
So
that's his way of saying.
Even says John Goodman as Fred Flintstone.
That
movie sucked, but not because of John Goodman.
Not because of John Goodman.
John Goodman has done not many bad movies. He's done bad movies before, but it's never like his performance was bad. He has never down.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That was him and Rick Moranis.
Yeah. And Rosie O'Donnell, and it's just a bad movie.
Him and Rick could have been the only friend.
The mom from Third Rock from the Sun.
There was no mom from the Third Rock of the
Sun.
No,
the family, they were aliens, but she was posing as the.
That was
she was like the sister.
Was it a sister? That was it. Okay, about her. She's
what was her name? God, what was her name? She was married to the
Charlie Welch, King Ralph.
I remember that one. I saw it in theaters.
I remember when he's 90 the dude hits him with the fucking ear.
Yeah, chopped it. They take him out to go play cricket.
Oh, good stuff. But yeah, I absolutely love this movie, and it was fucking freaky. And especially for those of us, I know we have many people here in the chat who live, in the what we consider the Bible Belt, live down here in the South. It's a very real thing. You see him on the corners. You see him around. Thank you, Glober Mom. It was Kirsten Johnson was in Third Rock from the Sun. So appreciate that. And, that's what made it all the freakier because you watch this and,
a stone. That's not but a stone's throw from mine and JL's freaking doorstep. Alex's too.
Yeah.
Hell, Eugene, they're everywhere. There. Yeah. But like JL moved closer to that.
I'm actually further up in it. Yeah, there's
you got deep up in that. You said, not just the tip. I want to go all but shaft too.
Walls to the fucking Holy Bible walls.
I mean,
pretty much.
No, but seriously, you're not kidding with that. But it's not just people out in the streets yelling, "The end is nigh." There's so many like established, even successful people that push this fucking agenda. That's kind of like maybe you're on the extremist side. And now, even with this movie being how long ago was this movie? 2011. 10 years. Yeah, 10 years. Now on Facebook, I've noticed if you go into groups that are kind of even leaning one way or another, you'll get a little pop-up notification that says, "Do your friends seem to be a little too prepared?" And they are like asking you to report extremism now. And so there's like this weird internet. Now it's 10 years later. Now Facebook, Instagram shit is established. Now they're starting to dig into that. Like, if you see something, say something, because these people are getting a little out of hand. And that's, this movie kind of shows you what happens if you don't keep that shit in fucking check.
Well, despite the very creepy story and everything, one other thing I wanted to jump on this one, and despite how relatable it is, because we see it almost every day in some form, whether it's the internet or in real life. Another interesting thing about Red State was more about the behind the scenes on this one, and that was what Kevin Smith decided to do after the fact. Was when he was going to release it because, it's a Kevin Smith film and it wasn't a studio film. It was independent. It wasn't like Cop Out, so we all heard the legendary tales off of Cop Out. But he pretty much challenged the establishment on this one and went balls to the fucking wall, pissed off a lot of fucking people. And some people thought that his career was over after Red State, despite the fact that this is a great fucking movie. But it was because he kind of, challenged the establishment on this one.
Yeah, he really did. So he did something that was actually unheard of. And so one of the things about the system that Kevin Smith was upset about was he got established through the system. So he made Clerks, and then Clerks was bought by a studio, and it had to go to the process. Well, a lot of people don't know it took 7 years for Clerks to turn a profit, despite how cult and how great and how many people talk about it. It took 7 years for it. So when he did Red State, like I said, he did Red State himself, funded it himself, everything like that, not big studio. Kevin Smith announced that he would pick a distributor based off of who would show up to the Sundance premiere. Mm-hmm. Already well-established director. Most of the time, distributors are done way ahead of time, and you don't get an opportunity to get a director of Kevin Smith's status that you may be able to walk in and buy. So, of course, every distributor's there. It packed house for the screening of it. All these people looking and prepared for offers to go buy the rights to the movie so they could distribute it. They watched the movie, and then Kevin Smith announced that he's going to do it himself. And every distributor there in the theater was like, "What?
Yep.
We wasted our time, not just feeling the movie, but we were prepared to negotiate and do deals and stuff like that." And Kevin Smith was like, "I told you I would pick a distributor who was in the theater. That's me. Instead, I'm going to do a tour of the film and then release it on DVD and Blu-ray," which he made his money back off of the very first appearance over in New York. So he made $1 million off of the first show. Mm-hmm. But Pete Studios were furious. Distributors were
legend now.
And the producer was like, "I had no idea. I didn't know. This came out of left field. This was not my idea. I had no part of it." All this other kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, they were upset.
Oh yeah. There were fuckers that were calling for his head. They're saying that his career is over. He's done. No one's gonna distribute for him anymore. That the level of disrespect that he showed us. And in essence, he kind of did. I mean, I was reading over the history, reading what people said, and then I was kind of like, he kind of pulled a Bill James. He showed that it can be done differently. Mm-hmm. Bill James, who Sabermetrics reinvented baseball. He kind of did the same thing. You don't need these fucking distributors in order to get your goddamn movie out there and make a fucking profit. As a matter of fact, he legit cut the middleman out himself. And as long as you're willing to go out and do the legwork, you can make your money back. As long as your movie is sound, you got a good movie, you got a good fucking product. You're going to put it out there. People want to see it. Well, guess what? Sometimes sometimes distributors, they get in the fucking way.
And that's not an original idea either. He got that idea from the digital music industry, how digital music changed the way that people could used to back before the 2000s. If you didn't have big money pushing your product, you couldn't be an independent artist. When you weren't going to make any money.
But you weren't going to be big, because I remember when Radiohead, they finished their record deal and everybody's expecting them to sign another deal or anything like that because you got a band of that stature. And Radiohead said, "No, we're good."
Yeah.
They're like, "Are you not going to sign with anybody?" Right? No, we don't have to.
Yeah.
We have the platform. We distribute music how we want.
Right. So Tool did the same thing.
And look at how that fucking shaped the independent music industry now.
Right.
You got people out here making, their first $1 million in the first year, as opposed to having to wait 6-7 years to make that first $1 million independently, because they can piggyback off of people like Radiohead. And that's I'm not a fan, but look at what Billie Eilish did. Her and her brother. Look at what fucking Tom McDonald did.
Yeah.
Macklemore did the same thing.
Same thing. Yeah.
You know what? Macklemore, I saw him one of his first shows with Ryan Lewis in Minneapolis at a music festival. I think it was Soundset years and years and years ago. Showed up. He was brand fucking new. Nobody had ever heard of him before. He gets up on stage. Everybody's like, "Holy shit." And then 6 months later, he's on the fucking radio. And that's that was Thrift Shop. I'd seen him before that. And so, it's just, it's like that. Mm-hmm. You get your fucking name out there. The right people hear you. Social media.
It's like they said, the first one through the door always gets bloody.
Yeah.
That's the first one to pull a move is always going to get smacked. And yeah, Kevin Smith got hit on this one. There were people who did this.
But I mean, he almost immediately recovered. It wasn't like it was a minor. Yeah, it was a minor bump in his career.
It was just the trades. It was they just lambasted him in the trades.
Right.
And that's all they really.
What was the next movie he put out after that? After Red State.
Was that 2011? What
was that? Because it did well, whatever it was. I can't remember what it was.
I'd have to go back.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking up.
Tony Regime says he managed to edit the film enough to show it at the wrap party 2 days after filming, finishing principal photography.
What a badass.
So after Red State was Tusk.
That's because
I was going to say, was it Tusk? No.
That's because how Kevin Smith operates is that he edits while he's shooting. So in his head, he's editing what he wants, and then once he's got it, he takes the dailies, then he edits them that night, and then they go back and they finish. So he'll make the small cuts he needs. Then he just needed a few days to put the things together in the right order, and then run it and basically show a rough cut of it. So, and Ivy Ginter says that is because Kevin Smith don't give a flying fuck, and he does not.
What a troll, though! Just take a fucking. He's like trolling the shit out of these people, and also showing the world that the American dream still exists, and it was just amazing. It's fantastic.
It's nice to know because you have these gatekeepers that in the artistic community is like you have to have somebody take your art and be like, we can control how successful you are.
Right.
And this is the first time in history where the artist can actually become a name for themselves as long as your product is good. You have access to the cameras, you have access to the program, you have access to the musical equipment. If you know what you're doing and you can put out a good product, you will make it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
That was what's important. And I thought that was brilliant, and it showed anybody out there trying to make a movie. You can do it too. You can believe in your product, but if you know you've got something really solid, if people look at this thing and go, yeah, this is going to be an amazing product, put it out there. You don't need the middleman. It's harder. You have to be willing to do the legwork. Kevin literally put together a caravan and went around the country to do screenings. And that was, in essence, that's how he made his profit off the movie. He made his profit. He made the money back. I mean, that was pretty much how he did it. Going with a distributor, you're all looking at how they're going to control the distribution. They're going to choose the weekend of releases. They're going to choose the theaters it goes to. He was like, fuck that. I'm going out of my name alone, and I will rent the theaters to do the showings where I want to show them. And, and not only that, it wasn't big ass name theaters. He went to independent theaters like in Dallas. They got the Inwood or the Angelica. He went to small theaters that need that kind of attention in order to stay alive. So, I mean, that's how you can do it. So there you go. Kevin Smith setting the example. That's why I love the dude so much. All right.
It's a last kind of thing to say. And it is kind of a bit of a, look, it's a little dishonest to say that you can do what Kevin Smith did, because it's not like this was his first film. He was already established. He did go through the gatekeepers. He did pay his dues, so to speak. So I guess
he didn't fucking like it.
Well, no, for sure, yeah, but he still had that. He still had the ability because of Chasing Amy, because of Mallrats, because of Clerks, because of all these other successes that he had. He had the ability. So it's a little different than saying, hey, anybody with a camera can make a film and do what Kevin Smith did, because renting out theaters is expensive. And the four of us get together. We can't go, hey guys, we're going to show Nail Gun here. And people like theater houses like, yeah, okay, cool. $5,000 a night. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Not necessarily.
Whereas if Kevin Smith said, yes. Even places, even if I guarantee, well, I don't know about the AMC movie theaters, whatnot. He probably could have done it though. He probably could have said, "Hey, look, guys, I want to show this film here. I'm Kevin Smith." They were like, "All right, cool, yeah." Are you going to promote it? Yeah, I'll promote it. Don't worry. Yeah, let's do it. You know what I mean? So he had that. He had that. He had already paid his dues.
He does have a leg up. That's just true.
Yeah. He has that name. But the thing is, like I said, it starts off with the names. As we talk about music, you're not going to have some no-name band in the very beginning go like, oh no, I don't need a record deal or something like that. It takes Radiohead, 9 Inch Nails, Tool,
King Shaming Cannibals,
and then people are gonna go, okay, and then you start getting the hits like Macklemore and Billie Eilish and stuff like that who come up. Where the heck can avoid that?
And Ivy Gentry says Kevin Smith proves stoners can do anything.
Stoners can do anything.
Nerd Journal. Hey, Nerd Journal. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Says you can make it short and put it on YouTube and catch a few million views.
That's true.
There you
That
go.
is true.
All right. So I think it is trivia time.
Trivia time. What are we giving away,
Trivia
JL?
prize number 3. So here we go. This trivia prize number 3. Y'all are going to fucking love this one. So I got this, especially, I mean, this took some tracking down, but I fucking got it. We are giving away for our third film.
For our third film,
An autographed poster of Red State with Kevin Smith, Ralph Garman, and Michael Parks.
Very cool. Very cool. That is not laser inscribed.
no, those are real. Those are real.
Yes.
I know.
So this poster, we are giving away this poster, an autographed poster. Kevin Smith, you can see Kevin Smith there on the side, right there. Michael Parks right up beside him, and then Ralph Garman down there at the bottom. So we will be giving that away for this trivia question.
All right, everybody, get your Google food ready.
I hope they're excited about it. I hope they
should be excited because this is
I don't
really
get to
cool
see the
prize.
reaction. You know, it's like, holy shit. But I don't even know. Maybe they're like, Kevin Smith autograph. Who the fuck cares?
Yeah,
It's
who
not a
fucking
fucking
cares?
Friday the 13th fucking box set, but you know, it's close.
You know. All right. So here's your trivia question for this amazing prize.
Oh,
Kevin,
H.
God
Jasper E.
damn it! Shut up,
I was
JL.
saying hi to H. Jasper E. He says, yep, morning all. Like, good to see you.
Hey, what's up? Morning.
Continue.
Johnny doesn't care about you, but we're glad you're here.
Kevin Smith modeled Cooper and his congregation after what real-life fundamentalist group? Kevin Smith modeled Cooper and his congregation after what real-life fundamentalist group? Answers in the side chat. Let's see what you got.
Who's going to be the third trivia winner? Third trivia winner of the
Third one.
Hi, H. Jasper E. I do care. I was just in the middle of my trivia question when some fucking asshole interrupted me.
Some bearded fuck.
Bearded fuck. Chris Durham Music
Here
Channel.
they go. They're already in. Okay, that came in really, really fast. Who do we have first?
I think that was Tony.
I got Tony Regime.
I got Tony Regime.
Yeah.
Tony Regime, and that's checked on the live chat on YouTube.
YouTube live
Oh,
chat.
I want to double check just to make sure because it was so close.
I got Tony on both.
Yep, old Fred Phillips.
Chris Durham Music Channel says, third trivia question answer, Betty White in The Apothecary with John Holmes. Haha, you thought I was going to say Tracy Lords again. Hashtag no foreign reference this time.
Awesome. So yes, that is Tony Regime.
Tony Regime.
Tony
Boom.
Regime got it. Boom. Westboro Baptist. That is who we were looking for. Yes. Yes, it was Kevin Smith's based Cooper and the congregation off of Fred Phelps and the Westboro Baptist Church. But yeah, off of what real life fundamentalist group that is the Westboro Baptist Church. Congratulations, Tony Regime. Write your name down right quick. Tony.
Damn, Alpha K91, so close.
Yes, it was
right
very
there,
tight.
right
But we
in
got
the
a
heels.
bunch of people who got close on that one. Tony Regime, Alpha K91, and Charlie Welch is Westboro Baptist, Glover Mom.
Yep.
And the George said the Jehovah's. No, not the Jehovah's Witnesses. Sarcasm said Phelps. Charlie Welch is Christians in general, just in general. Charlie Welch said Mormons.
Mormons.
Also fair.
So congratulations, Tony Regime. You have won the Red State autographed poster with Kevin Smith, Ralph Garman, and Michael Parks. Rest in peace, Michael Parks. We miss you. He passed away, I think it was last year, didn't he? Was it last year or 2019?
Shit.
I think it was 2019.
I was going to say, I think it was 2 years ago now.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that was a bummer. Yeah, he was a legend. But yes, congratulations to the regime. I got your name down. We will get that out to you. Just make sure I've got your most up to date shipping information. Just to be safe. So make sure you get, if you've won a prize tonight, or we've given you a bonus thing, that would be Ryan. Make sure you get us your shipping details so we can get stuff to you. Ryan's going to get something from the vault. I haven't decided what to give him yet.
And don't forget, we got one more trivia question coming up.
That is
at the end of
true.
next
That's
movie.
right.
One more. Because we got one more movie to talk about.
We have one more movie to talk about. JL, why don't you go ahead and wrap this awesome present up with our last movie?
Yes, I will. So this last film we're talking about tonight for our season finale of season 2 came out September 25th, 2009. The sci-fi horror film Pandorum. So directed by Christian Albert with a story by Travis Malloy and Christian Albert, starring Dennis Quaid, Ben Foster, Cam Gigandant, Ante Trau, Kung Lee, and Eddie Rouse. But
Did you say Chun-Li?
I said Kung Lee.
Oh.
Did you say Congolingus?
I was waiting for it.
I was going to make the joke. So, yes, the story follows. Actually, make sure because this is pretty simple. So, the story follows a group of, I guess, a planetary traveling ship that's carrying the population from Earth to a distant.
Is it intergalactic?
Intergalactic, yeah, an intergalactic ship carrying the last remnants of the human population to another planet because Earth has been destroyed. And some point during the mission,
2023. Okay.
Some point during the mission, Ben Foster's character wakes up and realizes things have gone horrifically wrong as the ship has been overrun by mutant cannibals, and there is a crazy man in control of the bridge, played by Dennis Quaid. So a very trippy and wild. Travis Brett's Michael Parks died in 2017.
2017, yeah.
Wow, it's been that long.
Yeah.
Wow, dang it.
Dude, I just read a book that was actually very similar to this movie. Sorry, go ahead.
Sure, Kaz, but this movie straight creeped me the fuck out. This was a good one, and I really, really dug this one. I liked Pandorum, despite the fact that it bombed at the box office. And the reason for that, I think, is because sci-fi is a risk. Sci-fi is one of the riskiest genres.
Mm-hmm. Well, when you mix it, especially when you mix it with another element like the horror element.
Yeah, so with sci-fi, it can be sci-fi itself. I wouldn't necessarily say it's risky. Sci-fi is really in right now in terms of one of the genres, but it comes with mixing it because you have to suspend your disbelief for sci-fi and then also suspend your disbelief for horror. And so sometimes it doesn't really meld very well in that. So if you take a movie, say for Alien is a slasher in space.
Right.
So the space plays a huge part in the beginning of the movie, the sci-fi aspect of it. But once the xenomorph gets loose in the ship, it's a slasher. It could be anywhere.
Right. This really is the setting at that time. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just we're just on the ship and everything. And you're not super focused on what's happening out in space and all this other kinds of stuff. And that's why Alien is successful in that right on it. But when you start bringing in too much scientific stuff, too much, and then you're trying to get this little horror, it can really kind of clash. It's hard to balance that.
Absolutely. And that's the thing with this film here. The reason why that most people didn't like it is because they had to suspend disbelief on two different fronts, on the science fiction portion and on the horror element of it. And I think that kind of gets too much. They distract you from the good parts of each. Whereas like you said with Alien, it's easier because after they've established the fact that it's in space, that's no longer, we don't have to harp on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What happens outside of the spaceship, nobody cares. There are a couple of elements in there that make the setting, but that could, you could have easily changed or altered some of those elements to been in a haunted house or not a haunted house, but an old house or, a prison or whatever. You know what I mean? There were adaptable elements that didn't necessarily have to be in space. So that was easily to acclimate to the setting. Whereas when you're doing a science fiction horror film that's heavy sci-fi and heavy horror, like, come on, guys, pick one.
And it went deep into it because it goes deep into. I mean, it's not just like one side, like, oh, it's in space. That's one particular thing. You've got. It goes into that. It goes into scientific, the apocalypse of the planet. It goes into evolution. It goes. I mean. I kind of dug the kind of accelerated evolution idea that taking humans and putting them on the planet and giving them an evolutionary accelerator that allowed them to adapt faster to the new environment. I thought that was kind of cool. That was kind of a cool concept. But they heaped a lot on them. Then on top of that, the psychological effects of what they called Pandorum, which is like the deep space disorientation. So you start like kind of seeing shit and everything. But it's the effect of no gravity, what it has for an extended period of time on your body. And then so they heap all that onto it, and then in come the mutant cannibals, or the super, I guess, because some of the passengers of the ship were let out and then evolved to the environment of the ship because they had the hyper evolution agent inside them. So they end up evolving to the ship as an environment, which made them all like fucking crazy and, like weird shit. And, can see in the dark, or, they operate by sound, and, and they're all cannibalistic. And I like the concept, but I did dig this. One thing that stood out to me, not everybody was American. And that was cool because this would be a sampling of people from all over the planet. So you're going to get populated. So you had people, part of it that didn't speak English, but they still had fucking I think the farmer, I think he spoke Chinese. Was he Chinese? I can't remember what language. I think it was white. But I remember that and I did the concept of that. It's like, wow, okay. So you can have a group of survivors here that don't all communicate the same language. But science, being a universal language, can communicate that way, which I thought was neat. So but a whole bunch of concepts, a whole bunch of
math is universal.
That put a scene into my head where somebody was doing an experiment and they couldn't speak because there's a Russian, an American, and a Chinese guy. None of them fucking know the language. And some guy's about to put a chemical into a tube, and the other guy's like, "Oh!" But they can't tell him why. And he's like, "Oh, yeah." And that's fucking.
But I think you're right. It's too much. It heaped it full. It was so heavy that I think it just put people off. If it had just been space and then there were monsters in space, that's one thing. I think this one just went a little too heavy. But this is really for the more hardcore sci-fi guys. If you love deep sci-fi, if you like shit like Black Mirror, things that'll make you think, then this is definitely a movie for you. But for mainstream audiences, really
you got to be able to connect the science with the horror. It's got to be. This is why this is scary.
Disconnected. Yeah,
it's more like, here's this scary thing. Here's some other science stuff going on off on the side that really doesn't play into it. There's stuff that does play into it, but they don't really go into it very deep. They don't connect it very well.
It seems like there's a piece missing from the story.
Right. And we had discussed Interstellar. Like, that was like a good movie where they took real science and put it into a point where NASA was even like, okay, we can get behind this. It's close enough, to actual experiments that we've done, actual data that we have that says that this could be a possibility.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But then you get into this movie and it's kind of like gibberish science. And that's why this is like a thing. And you're like, okay, I have to kind of just be like, yeah, okay, that's what's going on here. And then, I got to pay attention to what's going on the left, which are these fucking, mutants. And so, there's a lot to think about. Whereas I would like to have focused on the mutants and why they were mutants. And that's the fucking scary part, and not have to think about all the other shit that they're talking about over here.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they should have picked one story or the other. Like, they should have had pastors wake up and there's mutants on board and just deal with mutants, or
at least separate them in a way.
Focus on the fact that you had great stuff going on with Ben Foster's backstory. He had his wife. Was his wife with him on the ship? Did he leave her behind? What was going on with that? And then, of course, the Pandorum fucking with each other. That would have been fantastic with a great twist at the end. Just the end. And then because that's what was fucking with them, is that they, I don't want to spoil it because Anthony George said he actually hasn't seen it yet. So, but there's a big twist at the end. It's kind of like, whoa, holy shit!
And it's not bad.
And it's not a bad twist. It's kind of like, what the fuck?
Not. You just play it. You just treat it as just a sci-fi movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's it. It's just these people on the ship and they're trying to figure out what's going on.
Exactly.
Just don't fucking think about it.
And that's it. They need to be able to tell you. They can't tell the difference between like what the effect that Pandorum is having on them and what is actually real. So, and then of course, these two guys, Dennis Quaid and Ben Foster, would have been great. Then you can add in a couple other characters the lack of ability to communicate because people speak different languages, that would have played into the paranoia and kind of the delusion of what Pandorum would do is like, oh, what are they plotting against me? I don't understand what's going on.
Right.
Math becomes the universal language. This really highlights the science, and then we're able to use this universal communication.
And it could still be a scary movie.
And it can still be scary.
Yeah.
You don't need the cannibals.
There have to be cannibalistic mutants that are in it too.
Right. We don't need that. I think it was an unnecessary element to the story.
I think it reminds me a lot of Sunshine because you had some horror elements in the first like 3/4 of the movie of just the environment. They're just trying to get this payload into the sun and them just fight and survive and accomplish their mission without the whole third act where that one guy tries to go and kill everybody and all that kind of stuff.
It turned into a slasher.
It turned into a slasher. We didn't need the slasher.
It was a sci-fi thriller. And I mean, the tension was palpable. It's great acting across the board. Cillian Murphy, Chris Evans, Rose Byrne, Carrie, I can't remember his last name. The Japanese, the captain.
Rose Byrne, Michelle Yeoh.
Even Michelle Yeoh. Even Wong, Doctor Strange. That actor, he was in it. He was the engineer who wound up doing the mathematics wrong. Because he fucked up so much fun. And so it was fantastic. Then it turned around, Mark Strong was in it, and then Mark Strong is the slasher at the end. It's like, what? That kind of spun off, but I loved it. The visuals and the tension were fantastic. But you got to focus on one thing. And I'm sure in the studio thought, this needs action up at the end. We need something. So he's still alive. Pinbacker's alive. He's going to kill everyone. So kind of goofy on that respect. Yeah,
I guess it went in 3 different ways, and it could have stuck to like the 4th way.
Right.
It stuck to one.
Yes.
But of course, that's why sci-fi does work. There are things in sci-fi that scare you. I mean, there are things that Benedict Wong.
But that's the thing about science fiction. Sci-fi is frightening in itself. Like if you look at solid sci-fi films or solid sci-fi stories, they're frightening in themselves. Like we were talking about Clockwork Orange because we got to meet Malcolm McDowell.
Ivy Gentry. Wow, it isn't that often in a horror discussion you hear the cannibalistic mutants were unnecessary.
True.
Yeah. But so we were talking about Clockwork Orange, and Clockwork Orange is very much a science fiction piece that's frightening, especially when you're talking about that brainwashing scene. We didn't have to have weird monsters and aliens all of a sudden show up to be scary. I mean, it was scary as it was as a science fiction piece.
Not Ludwig von, no.
Not Ludwig, yeah. You know this music.
That was messed up. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's the unknown. It's because we're breaking into fields that are heretofore undiscovered. And so busting into stuff 2001 A Space Odyssey, and the George said 2001 A Space Odyssey. If the computer has turned against you, that which is necessary for your survival is decided you no longer need to survive, or you're no longer necessary, or you
are unnecessary.
You are a threat to the mission.
Right.
And so
open the bay doors, Hal. I cannot do that.
I can't do that, Dave.
And that's the theme that's carried throughout.
What do you mean, Alexa? Open the goddamn doors.
I'm sorry, Alex.
Yeah,
Would you like some upbeat music for your last moments?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Right. Yeah, hard enough time to get Alexa to do just the regular old things without trying to murder me, let alone.
It's gonna be a good night.
But yeah,
Alexa, why don't you listen to me? Well, because John, girls just want to have fun.
Oh, good.
and Ivy Gentry's correct. Sci-fi is scary. I've been doing sci-fi conversations for over 30 years. Whether it's space, because space is scary. Whether it's the abyss, the bottom of the ocean. Whether it's genetics. Whether it's aliens. Whether it's technology,
the human condition,
and artificial intelligence, transhumanism, cloning, whatever. These are frontiers. They're unexplored frontiers. And
you can say undiscovered country. It's okay. We won't point out that it's a Star Trek movie.
I almost said undiscovered country, but these are unexplored frontiers. Whether they're of the mind, or they're of the body, or they're of the environment. It doesn't matter when you're using technology or using advances in science and understanding in order to go areas. it's Ian Malcolm in your head. Your scientists were so busy concerned whether or not they should. They didn't know whether or not they could. They didn't start to think that they should.
Right.
And
another science fiction film that was very scary.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of people say Jurassic Park was a horror film.
It is.
Yeah, you make that argument. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's a monster film.
Tony Regime says, I read an article that states that all genres are subsets of science fiction because sci-fi encompasses all times and technological levels and can take place anywhere in any universe.
You can't make that argument.
You could.
Although I would say that Westerns are generally Westerns. Now you can have space Westerns. Star Wars.
Oh fuck! What was that one? Cowboys versus Aliens movie?
Cowboys versus Aliens.
Cowboys versus Aliens.
That was actually a surprisingly good movie.
It was a good movie.
I went to the theaters.
The name by itself.
I was like, wait a minute, this has got Daniel Craig and Harrison Ford. What the fuck? It's like, I guess I'll go and watch it. I was kind of like, holy shit, Daniel Craig's a fucking badass in this.
You get 3/4 of the film and you're like,
I was really leaning in.
Yeah. What's going to happen next?
Sarkaz says, I want to disagree with the cannibals not being necessary, but can't possibly argue the point without huge spoilers. This is very true.
The only reason that those huge spoilers were a part of the movie was because they put those mutants in. They weren't necessarily necessary to the storyline.
Yeah.
And George said there's also the existential fear in 2001. It gives a sense of meaninglessness and nihilistic dread. Very true.
Yeah. And I've been hearing that word a lot recently, nihilistic.
And he says, want a real scare? Watch the first Star Trek. It will bore you to death. Well, you talking about 45 minutes of shots of the Enterprise.
And the one guy who's floating next to the Enterprise constantly. He's not even fucking doing anything. He's just floating.
Gene Roddenberry was too up his ass about the science and the coolness of, oh, wow, everybody's going to want to see this. No, Gene. No, we don't.
No, did
you forget, Gene, that we canceled Star Trek?
Actually, if your final villain is Voyager,
Tony Regime, there's a challenger. Chris Durham says Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants was not sci-fi.
I can't say everything is sci-fi because even fantasy, the sci-fi has a science fiction aspect, and fantasy, because fantasy is its own world, it doesn't have to have any scientific backing on it.
All right. Well, I think it's trivia time.
Dun, dun, dun.
So how about a fourth trivia question? This is the last trivia question.
Wait, before you ask the question, what are we giving away for?
I will show you what we're giving away. This is what we're giving away. So this was
a 12-inch ding dong. I'm going to be very upset.
Especially given this is courtesy of Displate.
Sweet.
The creators of Metal Posters is a metal poster of the primary cast of Pandorum. You got Ben Foster, Dennis Quaid in there. This thing looks magnificent. Love the colorization on this. It looks very fucking cool. So yes, this will be our fourth prize. Is courtesy of Displate.com. The cast of Pandorum. So I'm really looking forward to giving this one. I hope you guys like this one. And here we go. Get those fingers ready. Give a moment.
Tony, I'm going to challenge you on that in a minute.
The answer is Despacito featuring Justin Bieber.
And here we go. The final trivia question for the season 2 finale of Week in Horror. Pandorum was co-produced by Paul W.S. Anderson, who directed what other cult favorite sci-fi horror film?
We're gonna find
Say
out
it again. Pandorum was co-produced by Paul W.S. Anderson, who directed what other cult favorite sci-fi horror film? First answer in the live chat wins the Pandorum Displate, courtesy of Displate.com. Thank you guys. We love you guys over there.
Is the answer Mortal Kombat?
No, it's awesome because this is so cool.
Oh shit! Coming in, rolling in hot.
Rolling in hot. I think. I want to double check. I'm not going to announce it just yet because these came in fast.
While you just started Red Dead 2, it's fucking amazing so far.
Let me double check. I want to make sure we got it right.
While we're doing that, Chris Durham says fourth trivia answer. Tracy Lords and Betty White in a shuttlecraft on one of Alpha Centauri's M-class planets with a restaurant menu.
Is it the restaurant at the end of the earth or at the end of the universe?
Let me double check. Okay, so I got to go to the live chat.
The earth was created, and that was how does that fucking line go? And the was frowned upon and generally thought of as a bad idea.
Travis Brown.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah, that's what I got.
I got
Travis
you.
Brown also.
Travis Brown, yeah.
Travis Brown coming in hot. That is 2 things he won off of the season finale tonight.
Yes, it's going to save on shipping. Saving on shipping is cool.
Saving on shipping. Congratulations, Travis Brown. That was Event Horizon. Event Horizon was the answer. Tony Regime, Charlie Welch, Circa, all of those came in like, what is that, like seconds after the fact.
Yep.
Oh, man, yes. And the George said check 3 times. It's Travis Brown. Yes, it is Travis Brown.
We need to get that soundboard so Alex doesn't have to sound like a.
Glober Mom says it's Travis. I started typing and stopped because someone else got to it first. Damn it! So congratulations, Travis Brown won 2 of the items that we are giving away tonight. So awesome, and thank you so man. He said he's been here before. Well, like he's been in the chat, but he's never like interacted with the chat.
Yep.
This is the first time
He was auditing us.
Yeah, there you go. I think I'll step in here, win all the fucking trivia prizes.
No, I won't. I'll just step in and be like, "Hey guys, this is the answer. This is the answer. That's just send me the shit."
I'm in your Discords, reading your scripts.
Yes. Got them all.
Fantastic. Well, we will get those shipped out to you. So, Travis Brown, I saw that you sent us your shipping information. I'll get those sent out. Sarcasm and Tony Regime as well. And, of course, Ryan. That was Ryan. I can't read my own writing. Anons. Ryan Anons. Ryan Anons, make sure you send us your shipping details. I'm going to send you something from the Week in Horror Vault. Send it to either weekinhorror@gmail.com or hit us up on the Discord. And you'll see it there.
When he says vault, I know it makes everybody thinks like Scrooge McDuck, but no, it's more like shoebox,
like Tiny Tim.
Yeah, it really is.
Don't.
We got look. We can't. No, we have to distract him. We have to make him think that it's like a shoebox and not really like Scrooge McDuck.
All right, and let's see. Travis Brown says, "I want to thank Lloyd Cryer for making all this happen, and of course, Lloyd and Charles does. Yes, Charles does of Texas Frightmare, introducing us to, because I think it was me and Johnny that met Travis out at
Friday night.
Frightmare. So yeah, this was an absolute blast. So thank you, Travis. Thank you for joining us. I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
We had Charles Does on the show.
Yes, we did. We did have Charles. We had Lloyd and Charles. We had Lloyd on one week and then Charles on the next week.
We had both of them on. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Ryan. Awesome. And that was fucking amazing. Fantastic. Well, before we get out of here and we take this past year and put it back, and I literally will take all of the episodes of Week in Horror and I will put them in a folder called the Season 2 folder.
Yep.
And start up Season 3. This is what we have. So this is the moment. Final thoughts on Season 2, guys. Start with you, Alex. Final thoughts on Season 2.
Fucking terrible. Fuck all you guys. I'm out. No, it's been a hell of a ride, guys. And it's seriously like from day one when we started this till going to Texas Frightmare weekend, and not as like just fans, but looking for potential, looking at our potential future was kind of really cool to not only like have like a goal to work towards, but something that's not like work related or, it's not necessary. This is something we did. We created this. We've done, like you were talking about, independent labels earlier. We did this shit on our fucking own. Everybody's had a hand in this. JL has just killed it with all this daily splatter and the scripts. Eugene has killed it with Nail Gun. That was what a big fucking... That was insane. I got to watch that shit firsthand. I had very little to do with this movie. I hope I can get in a lot more on the next one. But this one I had very little to do with, and just to watch you guys fucking knock this out of the park was insane. And they just showed it at Texas Frightmare weekend. They sold 10,000 fucking tickets to that thing. That's like... That's the shit we used to go to as kids and fanboy about. Now that's what we're doing. So I listen to podcasts sometimes, and I'm like, man, our podcast is better than this one. And that was kind of like a big thing that was like, we're actually in this. We're in this circle. Or you see their numbers, and it's like they've been out for 4 years, and they've got 1,000 followers on Facebook, and 150 people on their YouTube, and we've got double those numbers, in our first 2 years. And from what I've learned, our numbers are higher than they should be, and that feels fucking good. So awesome. I'm looking forward to the next 2 years, the next 2 seasons, the 2 after
Fantastic. That. Johnny, final thoughts. Season 2.
Huh?
2 already. He's like, wait, I've only been on. You guys did a season without me?
You guys did season 1 without me? Fuck.
Johnny, you know what's really crazy too is like we've all known each other. I've known JL for a long time because we worked together. Mm-hmm. Eugene, we met on the show. Johnny, we had never met before any of this. But me and JL used to work with somebody that you used to be in a band with.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
6 fucking degrees right there. That's some Kevin Bacon shit.
Yep, 6 degrees Kevin Bacon.
I used to work with a guy that Johnny was in a band with years and years and years ago. I mean, we're talking like 6-7 years ago.
14, I
no,
think,
probably I guess whatever. I mean, fucking long time ago.
Yeah.
And so I went to one of his concerts before I knew him. 6 years before I knew him. So
Yep. That's what I think. I think season 3 will have a lot of new opportunities. I hope to hear back from CJ here in a couple hours. So I'll let you know.
But final thoughts on season 2?
Yeah, that's my final thoughts on season 2.
Okay, final thoughts on season 2. Or I'm looking forward to season 3. Okay.
Yes.
And Eugene,
progressive, love it.
I mean, ultimately, it was a success. When we started this podcast, we were like, "Oh, maybe it will lead to this and lead to this," and we're thinking 5-7 years down the road, and now it's like 2 going on 3. We're obviously way ahead of schedule how initially we planned it, and keep going. Maybe we hit our 10-year goals next year. Season.
Whoa, slow down.
No, hey, fuck that. You got to put those Jinko jeans on, even if they're 3 sizes too big, and just put
Absolutely.
As long as I get to hide out in one of the pant legs.
Hell yeah.
We're all going to hide out in one of the pant legs. On it. So, but season 2, it's been a success. It's awesome. And can't wait to see what happens for season 3.
Fuck yeah. This has been a hell of a ride.
Oh, I see. It was good enough for Eugene, but when I say it, it's like, you're stupid, Johnny.
Those words, whatever. But yes, it has been a hell of a ride. Started this whole thing as kind of on a whim.
That's what my friend said.
Yeah, my friend told me, "Hey Jerry, hey JL, you like hearing yourself fucking talk. So why don't you start a podcast?" So I started up a podcast. Here you go. And I thought it was going to be a hobby. I met Eugene on the 48-Hour Film Festival back in Dallas. I was a writer. He was the DP. And that we just hit it off. And then Alex, of course, I knew from way back when, working at that soulless fucking job.
We used to talk shit about our managers together outside, smoking cigarettes.
There you go. And then Johnny, of course, introduced him via Team Skeptic, who's a YouTube creator. And then we just kind of hit it off, started doing content. And then here we are. Here we are on this show. We were, doing this weekly show. And one of the best fucking audiences out there, most dedicated people that you could possibly imagine.
They are the best.
They are the best. But the most dedicated, showing up every single week to hear us talk about this stuff, to talk about the movies that we love, and the kind of behind the scenes stuff, allowing us to spread the knowledge that we have as filmmakers onto them, and try to entertain them as best we can. It has been an uproarious success, more than we thought, more than we anticipated. We're making fucking product now. It's led to the film. That was a pipe dream. This could lead to making movies. That was a pipe dream a year ago, and now here it is. So holy fucking shit, we didn't expect it, but man, we
all
are here.
Because Alex, Eugene, and myself made you ask the uncomfortable questions.
You got to have someone around to challenge you. You do. Yeah, I choose the people who I surround myself with, people who will push me out of my comfort zone and make me do the shit that I wouldn't expect to do. So,
JL's like, yes. Who makes me the most uncomfortable in my life? I'm going to spend a lot of fucking time with them.
That's Johnny O. Very uncomfortable. Deeply uncomfortable.
But he's pushing you forward.
Yeah,
pushing me forward. Always forward.
Always. Never backwards. Bushman. Whoa, what?
Jesus.
So yes, but it has been an amazing ride so far. I cannot wait to see what season 3 begins. If season 3 comes, it's going to be absolutely fucking fantastic.
That's
So,
what D-Wall said.
Yeah. So with that,
slide in there tonight.
that will. And with that, we will bring season 2 of Week in Horror to an incredible close. Thank you all so much for listening, and we truly hope that you enjoyed the show. Join us next week for the season 3 premiere, when we will unveil our new cover artwork for season 3, the new limited edition artwork shirt number 4. Special industry guest makeup effects artist Haley McKiston will be joining us as we look back at the remake of We Are What We Are, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, Tucker and Dale versus Evil, and the original masterpiece, Night of the Living Dead. Oh, that's cute. Look at that. That's adorable. It's gotta go. It's gotta go down there.
Gotta go this way.
There we go.
We're all touching.
Oh, we're not touching.
Hips.
Here we go.
Push the mushroom heads together. Whoa.
So we have a fantastic episode in store for you on our season 3 premiere. We would like to send a giant shout out to our amazing patrons, who without we would not be able to do this show. Thank you so much for helping us make it the success it has become. We love you all so much for it. And be sure to check out Joshua Olsen's new store, www.badsamurai.store. Joshua does all of the amazing artwork for our limited edition t-shirts, and he has some amazing new designs that I'm sure you all will love. That is www.badsamurai.store. The link is in the description. Visit us at weekinhorror.net, where you can find links to all of our episodes, our bios, our merch store at Teespring, and of course, enter your email at the website for a permanent entry to win a mystery horror shirt every single month, courtesy of $6shirts.com. We love those guys. For more horror entertainment, be sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, social media. Followers get our daily splatter, a little bit of horror info every day right to your feed. You never know what new horrors you may discover. Subscribe to the channel and smash that bell like a zombie head for all the latest updates from the show. We really hope you enjoyed this new live format that we've been doing for a year now, so I'm going to have to stop saying that line. And we'd still love to get your feedback, though. So be sure to leave us a comment below, and I'll hit that like button, because the interactions help us with the dreaded algorithm. Fucking YouTube.
He invented the internet.
And lastly, if you guys truly love what we do here, and you would like and are able to support the production, you can through our Patreon. We have subscriber tiers as low as $1 a month. $1. And bonus and exclusive content and horror films that we send you every month for the higher tiers. However, if you prefer, you can support us through a one-time donation to our PayPal. All of those links to everything, including our Discord community, where you can find film recommendations, trailers for all the movies we talked about tonight, trivia games, horror watch parties, and even interact directly with us are in the description. Don't forget, join us after the show in the Discord. We will be watching Phantasm 4. We'll be bringing that. So we're going to be finishing out the franchise. We've been watching Phantasm lately. Phantasm 4 tonight after the show. And while this country is finally, well, we thought it was beginning to recover, and things are getting a little bit fucking crazy out there again. And we know that things are getting really tight for a lot of our audience. Always commenting, liking, and sharing the show with the fans and friends that you know that love horror is the best way to help us continue to grow. So thank you all so much for that. Thank you for being the greatest fucking audience that a podcast could have for the past 2 years. We love you all so much. I am JL.
And I'm Eugene.
I'm Alex.
I'm that other fucking guy.
We will see you all next week for the beginning of a whole new season of terror. And as always, stay scared.